Hey guys, it's Milka. Welcome back to my channel, NutAeum. I know it has been a while since my last post. I had a lot of stuff going on, you guys, and lo and behold, you may notice a new background that those of you who are returning viewers may not have experienced before, and it is because I've moved. Yes, I have moved. It has taken some time. I will be honest with you guys. That was one of the reasons why it was very difficult for me to start filming, because half of my stuff was in one place, half of the stuff was in another place, and then there was so much cleaning and unpack. It's a whole lot of a lot of things basically. But I'm super excited because now I have this space, so hopefully there will be less sirens here. Though I'm sure some of you must have really enjoyed listening to the sirens of New York City howling in the background, wondering if it's on your end or if it's part of the video. So hopefully there will be more peaceful noises here. Also, I have a new desk, which I am super excited about. I'm still working on how to do the lighting and stuff because it is quite a large desk. You guys don't even see the capacity of what it can hold. It is so lovely. I'm very happy about it. I was very excited. Whatever. It's a whole thing. It's a whole process. Everything was part of the process, but it's okay. All right, you guys. You know what it is? It is not you know what it is. Sorry, that was weird. You know what time it is. It is that time of the month. Yes, that time of the month for your monthly healing focus for the next month. Yeah, so today's video, as you guys probably saw in the title, is going to be the healing focus for the month of July. And there's a bit more of a gentle energy present today. We do have some cards here, you guys. I'm gonna actually put numbers, I believe, on these cards. I will not reveal your card until we're in your reading, okay? But there is more unicorn energy, I will say, coming through for this reading. It's very gentle, it's very healing. We're also going to be doing a seashell reading, a little tiny mini seashell reading in this reading as well. How many times can I say reading? But yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Before we talk about the groups, I just wanted to do my little same shameless self-plug that I have done. Well, first of all, for those of you who are new to the channel, hello. I do have a channeled song from Divine that I posted not too long ago on my other channel, which has some of my older readings as well as more music-y related things. I'm going to insert a little clip of it here. Don't shrink in the shadows, it'll be alright. Reach your hand out to me, and I'll be your guide. Promise you there'll come a day when you'll live in the light. But for now, just hold on to me. I'll be your guide. So for those of you guys that are interested, you can check out the link in the description box below to hear the full song. Also, I do private personal readings as well as custom crystal bracelets. As you may see here, this is one of them. I decided to wear it because these two bracelets were actually themed for the Aurora Borealis, which you are seeing here in these cards as well. So I thought, why not? And they're attuned with light language, Reiki, and as well as being attuned also to the things that you're trying to attract or bring more of into your life and the type of healing that you're looking to receive energetically or spiritually. And also I do custom affirmation songs. So if you guys are interested in any of these things, you can reach out to me either through my website on the contacts page or through my email, which are all listed in the description box below. But yes, without further ado, let us get into the selection. Again, I won't be revealing the cards. I'm just going to put numbers on them this time around. And yeah, and then we're gonna get into your healing focus, and I'll explain more for those of you who've never watched my healing focus videos, what it's gonna look like once we get into your group. Okay, so group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hey group 1, welcome to your group. Before we begin the reading, I'm going to ring the singing bowl for you guys. Okay, and I will reveal your card once we get to a certain section of the reading. But before we begin, let me explain for those of you who are unfamiliar with this monthly reading that I do. I'm gonna set this to the side. Basically, I just finished shuffling all of your cards, and the reading is going to be in a couple of different sections. Okay, the first section is going to be, the top will be like an energy check where you guys currently are at in your life, and if it resonates, then you know this is your reading. If it doesn't, maybe try another group. And then we've got, or at worst case scenario, if it doesn't resonate at all, then maybe this month's reading is not particularly for you, but hopefully it's good for everyone. Then the bottom is going to be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the previous month or the current month, right? So in the month of June. And the next section is going to be your material world focus for the month of July, which again will be at the top, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of July on the bottom. And then just final messages afterwards too. This is the first time that I'm doing a seashell reading in addition to getting cards and stuff for you guys. So I will say it's going to be a little interesting to see how things kind of play out for this particular reading, because we'll see where the seashell portion is going to come in. One thing I do want to say before I lay out the first portion of your cards is a couple of things came up during your reading, or while I was shuffling your cards, I should say. One of the messages that I got is your psychic sight is increasing. I'm seeing that maybe you guys are starting to see kind of shadowy things, to be honest with you, or things coming through the corners of your eyes. And I just want to give you guys some advice that if you, for whatever reason, because I think you guys are pretty knowledgeable about this, but if for whatever reason you start to feel a little bit of fear or something, just remember that trigger warning for some of you guys, I'm going to use the word God, okay, but I don't see it as a religious thing. I don't see it as a man in the sky. For me, it's just the source energy that creates everything. It's this unconditional love that weaves the fabrics of this universe / multiverse, okay? So I do feel like if you start getting a little scared or afraid, it's okay to call on God and to call on protection and to bring it back to trust and faith, okay? And again, it's not religious faith, it's the faith and knowing that you are taken care of, that you have always been taken care of. After, of course, we experience our trauma, look at how far you've come, okay? So you're okay, you're safe. It's just when your psychic sight is starting to expand, you start to see things more from on the 4D level. There can be some scarier looking things, or kind of like creepy things, or because you're not used to seeing these kinds of shadows and stuff, just know you guys are okay, you're safe, okay? Maybe you can up your protection just to make you feel safer, okay, and you'll be good. Also, I wanted to let you know, you guys are so unconditional, okay? You guys are so unconditional. I had this song, You Are My Sun, the Sunshine of My Life, or something like that, stuck in my head, and it's the part where it's like, how can so much love live inside of you? And it's just, it was so special, and I was like, wow, this is such a not just a cute group, but you guys are so, your spirit is so gentle, you know? So we're going to do our, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll start, sorry guys, I didn't really think it through. I'm kind of going by the, like the wing, I don't know. Why don't we start with your seashell reading, okay? It's going to be very short. It's just any kind of messages that we can get before we talk about the cards. And I haven't seen the cards apart from a few that may have revealed themselves. So let's see. It may be a little noisy, so for those of you wearing headphones, sorry. So when I pull the shells, I don't look and I don't pick just because of the size. I try to see what my fingers tingle from, okay? And you guys have 4 shells here, so let me just give you a little close-up of these shells. I don't know how well you can see it, but there's one. Here's another little shell, okay? Ah, my bracelet. Ugh. I made this one way too big. You know, I'm gonna take it off for the rest of the reading. I made one of them way too big by accident because it was pretty close to when I first started making bracelets. And instead of rethreading it and taking out some of the stones, I was just like, no, this is good enough. This is good enough for me. And I just need to rethread it. I need to stop being lazy and rethread it. It's been a while since it's been so loose. I don't know why I made it so big. But it's okay. All right, you guys, so these are your shells. I just want to show you this shell one more time because I don't know if you can see that little pattern in it. Okay, so give me a moment. Let me see. I'm gonna move them a little closer to me. So with this shell for me honestly makes me think of Venus. Okay, I'm seeing lots of Venus energy. You know what, another thing, when I mentioned you guys have a very gentle energy, I guess I didn't pinpoint it until I saw this shell, but it's true, it does feel like very feminine. Regardless of your gender, the energy feels very feminine. Okay, it feels very gentle and nourishing and nurturing, and I feel like you guys are going through a transition in your life. Okay, that's part of why you're seeing the things that you're seeing. Okay, it's because you're shifting away from the past that no longer serves you. Okay, you guys are also, yeah, you see, like this shell also, it's telling me you guys are going through an initiation. It's like it's essentially, it is an awakening, you know, it is an awakening, it is initiation. And everybody goes through different type, like I just heard the word ascension symptoms. Okay, everybody goes through different types or different versions of ascension, and that's because everybody is a unique individual. We all have our own experiences. So if you may find that, you know, you guys are starting to have lots of cravings as well, okay, because I got like one of your ascension symptoms for whatever reason is like pregnancy cravings, again, regardless of your gender. So it kind of feels like if you guys are experiencing certain cravings for foods and you're like, no, I should be eating healthier, or I need this, or this isn't good, or I don't understand why I want this so much, I just wanted to let you guys know it's totally okay that you're feeling that way. All right, and you should honor it. Just like, for example, it's silly of me to switch the bracelets, but it felt right in the moment, and so I did it. Okay, so I feel like it's kind of like that. You may need the grounding that that craving is giving you too. So don't judge yourselves too much on the things that you guys are craving. Even if you're like, that's weird, I haven't wanted this in a long time, or I don't even know what this kind of food tastes like, but I want it. Find a variation if you can, and create a little compromise where you can give that to yourself. Okay, and finally, I think that was actually it for you guys. I think that's the main, just, it's kind of like you guys are going, you're expanding, your consciousness is expanding, you're becoming more, like, again, it's like an awakening, right? It's another level of awakening, another level of awareness. That's why your intuition is increasing. You guys have gotten more sensitive in every way, you know, like with your actual senses, like hearing, maybe even like with touch, texture, but also with smells, right? With tastes, but also with your psychic gifts and your emotions, and everything kind of feels a little, I don't want to say fragile, because it's not like you guys are easy to break, but it feels that way. It feels kind of like delicate. That's a better word. Feels delicate. Okay, so that was your little seashell reading. Okay, now let's get into your cards. So we've got the Seven of Swords. I actually did see this one because this one flipped when it fell out. It flipped face up. So I got an interesting message. Let me just finish laying out the cards first. We've got Judgment, the Seven of Wands. Interesting, 2 sevens. The Three of Swords. We have the Eight of Cups. Oh wow, Judgment again. And then you have Death. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We were just talking about the Ascension and Transformation, and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay. All right, you guys. So remember how I was saying there may be a little bit of fear present. There may be a little bit of you guys seeing certain things because it's kind of, you know what it is? It kind of feels like you guys could have gone through some kind of an experience or maybe a trauma that made you feel like scared, right? Just to give you an example, like say something was going on in your life when you were younger and it was really scary and you were just tired of being and existing, and you would say things like, I don't want to see anymore, or something along those lines, you know? And it actually would take away the psychic sight, right? It was like blocking that sight. Well, I feel like the amount of transformation that you guys have gone through in the last year, possibly even year and a half. I mean, really, you've been on this journey for quite some time, I think, on and off. But I think this last year and a half has been kind of profound for you guys, okay? And it may seem like you're still kind of stuck in the dark, but you're not. And now that those gifts are activating and becoming stronger, because it's like, at some point in your life, you kind of disown them, whether you knew you were doing it or not, you know, because a kid saying they don't want to see, it's not necessarily them not wanting to see psychically. I don't think they don't always understand that it's psychically going on, right? It's just like, don't want to see the world around, and then it turns off the psychic sight. So I feel like, because say if that was the example, right, now that person had to go back into the dark where they left their sight and kind of bring it back up. So it's like that sight is now activated, but it's activated where it was left off, and now you kind of raise yourself back up to the light where you initially were. Okay, so it kind of, I hope that makes sense. That was a very specific kind of an example, but hopefully it does make sense for you guys. That's what it feels like. I feel like that's why there's a little bit of that, you feel like darkness kind of around, or it's like something is weighing you down, you know? And maybe darkness is not the right word, but it's kind of like there is something that makes you feel a little sad more frequently, or you're not entirely sure why you're going through the experiences that you're going through, why you're feeling the things that you're feeling. But like I said with the seashells, actually, it's like you guys are going through a more sensitive period in your time. And the fact that you have 2 Judgment cards and they're right above each other, it's kind of, this is the transcendence. This is the ascension. You see, this person has shorter hair. This person has longer hair. It kind of makes me think of Dragon Ball Z. I don't know if you guys know that show. It was a cartoon from like, I don't know, maybe the early 2000s, maybe the 90s. I'm not sure. But basically in that cartoon or anime or manga, whatever it is, I'm not really sure. Whenever they would go like Super Saiyan or like level up or power up, their hair would grow or change colors, but their hair would grow, okay? At least that's my recollection of it, and that's what I'm seeing here. It's like you guys are leveling up, right? Your hair is going from basic to like super powered hair. So I think that's pretty funny. I think also, like we were mentioning, like bringing it back to like God or source energy, right? The universe, divine, unconditional love, honoring your gentleness. If you need a break, take a break, okay? If it's something is too scary for you, maybe put on a mantra and sing along and do a grounding meditation, or like ground yourself and then visualize your guides around you. And even if you feel scared, just keep the image of them still being next to you until you start to feel a little more secure as you're doing your grounding and everything, okay? I feel like what you're going through right now, it's part of a test, and unfortunately, you have to go through the dark in order to get to the light. You know, at some point on the spiritual journey, you have to go into the dark in order to keep moving forward. Okay, it's kind of like passing through the forbidden forest or something. It's like there's no way around, and looking for a way around has only postponed you actually getting through it, you know? So now you guys are going through it, and just know that, like, with the Seven of Swords, it's not somebody else betraying you. This kind of feels like the universe being sneaky, all right? Like, everything is being planted in your path. And I feel guided to remind you guys also, though it may be hard to imagine or see, but the dark actually works for Source as well. The dark works for God too, right? Because if you think about the universal everything, right? Or like the concept of yin yang, right? Or is it that? I always forget how it's pronounced. I think it's yin yang, but I'm not sure. Okay, if somebody knows, please correct me if I'm wrong. But it's like this beautiful circle, right? Which is the composition of everything. And within that circle, you have a white and a black portion. And within those portions, the white portion has a little black, the black portion has a little white. Okay, now God, or that source energy, is not this black and white. It is the circle that encompasses those things. So that means that all of it is in service to divine. So it may seem like, how could that be? How can something so dark be working for God? But usually when something is scary or dark, it's because part of it is a test in helping you to overcome. Okay, it's empowering you. It's making you more stronger, because you have to keep training yourself to overcome it until you're able to just completely dismiss it. You know, so I kind of feel like that's another thing you guys are going through. Wow, that was very long. Normally this portion of the reading is not as long, but I guess that's kind of what needed to come through here. So I am seeing a lot of protection, right? You guys needing to do more protection and and that's okay. Honor that. You may have to banish things or energies more frequently, and that's okay too. Honor that as well. All right, guys? And then what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June, which is so funny because you've actually got walking away, you have death. So I do feel like some of you guys could be going through what seems like an ego death, to be honest with you. And I do feel like you guys are actually getting stronger. So keep fighting, right? It's kind of like a keep pushing forward, because you guys you're getting there and you're starting to come out of that darker space. Okay, so just know you guys are safe, you're okay, and this is all kind of part of a test. And I know somebody may want to be like, but why are you testing me like this? I don't want this kind of a test. But just know that it's okay. You guys are gonna overcome. All right, you guys. Sorry if you hear noises, by the way. Upstairs there's a loud television going on thing. Okay, all right, but yeah, that's mainly what I'm seeing you guys leaving behind in the month of June. It just feels like kind of moving past this. It's whatever this ego death or whatever this, it's like this final chapter. Oh yeah, remember that example I gave you, as if you had to go back into the dark and where that vision was closed, for example, where that sight was closed, and that sight was now opened in the dark, and now you, this higher version of yourself that you've done all this work in the course of how many years, have to dive into the dark. Look for that open eye that is looking at all these scary things and currently sinking into the waters of darkness, and grab it and pull it out of there. Okay? And as you pull it out, it's like you're leaving behind the dark things that you used to see. All right? Whether it's symbolically or in general. And you're literally taking yourself out of the past. Okay? It's a very powerful time for you guys. You guys are really going through an incredible healing here. All right, let's move on to the next portion of your reading. Okay. Where are the cards? Oh, there they are. I was like, where are the cards? All right, next we're going to be looking at your material world focus for the month of July and what Divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of July, okay? Oh, we have the Two of Cups. We have the High Priest, which is so funny because on the bottom of the Rider-Waite deck, which was like this deck, right? There actually was the Hierophant as well. Then we have the Seven of Cups. Wow, you guys got quite a few cup cards here. We also have the King of Pentacles. Oh my. Interesting, interesting. And then for the healing focus, we've got the Violets. Oh, actually, let us reveal your little unicorn card. Y'all, how beautiful. We have celebration. Oh my goodness. Okay. And it says, a positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success. Enjoy your achievements, you guys. Then we also have the Violet Spectrum, which is interesting because on the bottom of this chakra little deck thing, we've got spiritual awareness with this purple as well. Then we have Archangel Chamuel with Gateway of Direction. We have Expression, Universal Energy, and Decisions. Okay, and these are final message cards, which we'll look at after. So, all right, you guys, give me a moment. So off the bat, to be completely honest with you guys, for the material world focus for you guys, I'm kind of seeing you guys getting attention romantically, all right? Because you guys are going through this very huge, powerful transformation. Think Scorpio energy, right? Like that death, rebirth. It's literally, you guys aren't just being, it's not like, oh, I'm putting to rest an old part of me, moving on. It's literally as if the cells in your body are all evolving, like they're being transmuted, you know, all the trauma that's been held in them for however many years is kind of being, it's not even just being shifted out, it's just being molecularly changed. Like that's what it feels like, to a lighter frequency. And because of that, you guys are going to be drawing a lot of attention because your light is going to be shining. It's going to be a shining, right? Oh, that song that was coming in for you guys, right? You are the sunshine of my life. How can so much love live inside of you? It's like people are acknowledging you left and right. And I feel like people in your personal life, people at work, people at school, for those of you guys who are at school, people on the street, even you could be going to a grocery store and maybe the cashier is like, holy cow, you are like special or something, you know, they'll be like, you got such an incredible energy. And it's because you do, because you've worked for it. You've literally shed so many layers and you're continuing to do so. And I feel like you guys are connecting to somebody, whether it's energetically or actually coming, this person is coming into your life in person. I feel like they're coming soon-ish, okay? I do feel you guys connecting with somebody romantically, like there's a potential connection here, all right? And again, with the options, it's like I'm seeing lots of people are looking at you guys. Not all of them are going to be good for you, just a heads up, okay? Because they're going to be seeing your light, and it could be the shadow aspects of them that are attracted to your light, that want healing, but they don't know how to, you know, go about it. But I am seeing you guys also getting somebody who is more, I don't know, it just kind of feels as though there's some kind of connection that's coming through here. You guys may meet somebody through a work/school kind of association, okay? And what I mean by that is, like, don't go to work or school and be like, who am I meeting? You know what I mean? It's not necessarily that you're going to meet them at work. They don't have to be like somebody that you work with or somebody new or like a client if you guys have your own business, or a schoolmate or whatever. It could literally be while you're thinking about work, while you're on your way to work or school, you know, on the bus, on the train, or while you're preparing, getting supplies, right? Like buying things for either you're going back to school or buying things for your business or whatever, you know, like going on a coffee run for the office. Like it kind of feels like it's related in that way. Like there's still enough room for you to not really be able to kind of tell where you're going to meet this person, but they're saying that it has to do, but don't worry about it. Honestly, I don't know why they're giving me this information, because I feel like it could be kind of distracting. You heard it, forget it. All right, you guys, don't overthink it too much. You don't want to push anything away. Though I do think that it's time. It's interesting how you guys are getting doubles of powerful cards, like the Hierophant and the Judgment cards, right? Those all have this tie to divinity. So I feel, especially with the celebration, you guys, all of the transformation that you've been going through in the last couple of months, like maybe even 3 months for some of you guys, you are being celebrated. You have been being celebrated for the last few weeks, okay? And you're still continuing to have this incredible celebration. And it's like your guys are saying, come on, join the party. Join the party, okay? No need to keep looking back or whatever. We've got you. We've got you covered. Join the party. Get excited. You've got great things coming to you, okay? Yeah, so I do feel like in July, there's more kind of alignment to you and to divinity and to source energy, but also there seem to be kind of a lot of options of people who are interested in you or feeling guided to you. And for those of you guys who are on like a soulmate journey, or you're kind of feeling this presence of somebody that you feel like you've never met before, but you're feeling their energy, I feel like it's going to get even stronger in July. And you guys could also potentially be communicating with somebody too. So I don't know if it's exactly the person who you feel energetically. I don't think they're necessarily coming through in July, to be completely honest with you, though I think it could be soon, okay? But it's not, I'm not getting July. I just feel like the connection is getting even stronger. Like you guys can even hear each other's thoughts, you know, for those of you who are on that journey. Okay, now what Divine wants you to focus on healing in the month of July. So can you guys see all those cards? I just want to be sure that it's not too low. Or my finger. Okay, cool. All right, so, all right, you guys, Divine wants you to focus on leading with your heart and faith and trust, just like we talked about earlier, right? Like whenever you're getting that kind of, if there's that fear that comes up, lean into trust, lean into faith, into the guidance that everything is good, you are safe. Okay, they want you to continue. I say continue because I feel like you guys have started it for good, like you for realsies this time, not like how maybe you thought about it a couple of years ago and then it never really went into practice, but you guys have gotten a lot better at communication, at expressing yourself, saying what feels good and what does not, giving people your boundary. So yes, I feel like that is something they're highlighting, they're congratulating you on, and they're asking you to continue to expand on that. They're like, yes, this is good. Now expand it, expand on that, more of that, please. You know, that's what I'm seeing and hearing. Also, I think it's so interesting, right? Because you've got this universal energy with the violet spectrum, and then you have directions with the gateway of, decisions with the gateway of direction. So I think it's very interesting. I think it correlates very well. And it's funny, right? Because you guys are going to have to make, remember how I was mentioning other people, right? I feel like these people are also kind of like looking at you and whatever, and it's up to you to make the decisions to not go into the past. Don't just be nice to them and keep talking to somebody because they're nice, but also don't close yourself off from people. You know, it's kind of like, I feel like this new, even if you guys have been in relationships before, this feels like a new kind of chapter in your love life, a completely uncharted territory, a healthier kind of an area, but you're not used to it. So you're and this could also apply to those that you guys are, who are already in a connection with someone. For those of you who are in a connection with someone, I feel like your connection with your partner is only growing. You guys are becoming even more telepathic, and it's very kind, it's very healing, and it's becoming more stable and sturdy, and it's only, something has happened that's only strengthened the connection for you guys, okay? But for those of you who are not in the connection with somebody already, it's like there's this emphasis on this is, and for those of you who are in a connection with someone too, this is still an uncharted territory, because you guys have just kind of evolved to being able to learn to love deeper with the truest part of your hearts, okay? So I feel like there's this like, we want you to make choices, you know. I feel like source energy saying, I want you to make choices. Because you're going to get options in people, and it's not just going to be romantically. Like I said, a lot of people are going to be drawn to you. So you're going to be choosing, like, do I continue to entertain this? Do I act nice but give them a boundary? Do I just walk away? You know, am I feeling this way because of the past and I just need to keep moving forward? Or am I feeling this way because this is an actual trigger, or this person actually, you know, it's kind of like a lot of that. And though your guides are giving you guidance, they want you to trust yourself a little more when it comes to this kind of thing, because again, it's uncharted territory. Oh, I guess that's funny because they talk about faith and trust a lot in this reading. And they want to say, like, hey, kind of sit into it, right? If the water is cold and you can't jump in, just sit slowly into it, kind of get comfortable, all right? Or hot, you can do that when the water's hot too. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's the main, they're in this, they want you to focus on like trusting yourself, trusting your gut. And if you guys are ever unsure about somebody and you're like, please, universe, just give me the answer, you can do some grounding, okay? Ground yourself, maybe go for a walk. And as you're walking, you can start thinking about it and things are going to come to you, okay? So it's okay. You guys are safe and it's okay for you to continue on this journey, all right? Okay, now let's get the final messages. We've got, oh yeah, with, I hope that was enough. They also want you to, again, it's making this, they want you to make decisions for yourself. Yes, I think maybe you guys could have been indecisive when it comes to certain things in your life. And now the universe is like, you've gotten to the point, you've evolved enough, you can go make your own decisions. You know, it's kind of like you were riding a bike and they were holding the back of the bike the whole time. And now they're like, child, you've been riding this bike for years now with us holding you the back of it. And we're not even really pushing you at this point. We just had our hand there, so it felt like we were helping you. You're doing it yourself. Now all we're doing is removing the hand. They're still around you. They're still helping you exactly the same way. But they want you to gain this like inner strength, this inner like, I've got this, I can do this, you know, this confidence in yourself. Okay, final messages. We've got the 5th house, which is Leo energy. Then we have Scorpio with punish, which is funny. We talked about Scorpio, right? And Draco with guard. Okay. Can you see those cards? Yeah, you can. Okay, cool. So with Scorpio and Draco, I think that's a very interesting combination because these tend to have a slightly kind of, I don't want to say harsher energy, but it's not exactly super pure and light like fairies and whatnot. So again, with Leo, this is talking about, I know it's not Libra, but it's giving me relationship vibes, okay? Relationship with other people, you guys shining, you guys being the star, kind of being this, people are giving you so much attention, okay? You guys are going into the light more, and you guys are just shining and radiating, and people can't help but look to you, okay? And also, again, that like romance, right? That kind of romantic spark. And again, for those of you who are in a connection, it could be that you're just having like a restart. Maybe you guys are starting to go on more dates, or there's like more tenderness and more gentle love in your connection. Like it just feels revamped. And then with Scorpio and Draco, we've got yeah, I think it's more so just a little bit of advice of don't go into the past too much, okay? This is funny because it makes me think of a dream that I had last night where it actually had to do with the celebration as well, right? And it was like looking at something from the past, and it was something that you already did, right? It's like you made the bed. You already fixed it, you made the bed, but instead of walking out of the room and moving forward with your life, you're now trying to get out every wrinkle in the bed. And it's like your guys are saying, you don't need to get out every wrinkle in the bed. You did it. We've got the rest. Anytime something comes up, or if there's a little spill somewhere or a little crinkle, we've got that part. We want you to keep going, to move on, to celebrate. Okay, come into the light more. So that's what it feels like. Okay, guys. And then final messages. We've got 1, Venus, again, interesting, because that shell was Venus energy. Then we've got Sagittarius and 17. That's the star, you guys. Remember I said with this Leo energy, it's like you guys are a star, because you know the sun is also a star, which I believe is a book or something. Okay, and we've got Sagittarius, which we already talked about, you guys, with that expansion, right? You guys are expanding your Goku, oh my gosh, I forgot the word, but like, you know, when they're leveling up hair, okay? Oh my gosh, what did they say? I forgot what whatever, I guess it's irrelevant. And then with this one, I'm getting very much magician energy. And then Venus, again, it's like you guys are you guys are coming into this incredible celebration where things are going to be coming into your life, flowing into your life, okay? Continue to look at the things you're grateful for and know that, like, because you guys are just radiating so highly and your frequency is so high, you're going to get a lot of like onlookers and a lot of amorous energy directed to you guys, okay? All right, group one, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was quite long. I was not expecting it to be this long, but I feel very guided, at least for this part of the reading, to have talked slowly and gently. And I think it's because that's kind of what you guys are experiencing, all right? I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope that it helped bring some peace, maybe peace of mind for you guys. Oh, sorry, that was a little intense, a little harsh. And if you guys did enjoy this reading, I would appreciate if you gave this video a thumbs up, and if you guys commented down below, like letting me know if this is resonating or if it was something that you know, you can relate to and stuff. And also I'd appreciate if you guys subscribe to my channel and supported the channel in that way to be up to date whenever I post new content. And for those of you guys who are interested, I am trying to be more active on Instagram. I did have that social media silence while I was in this process of moving and getting things done and healing and all of this stuff, but I am back, and I will be back on there too. And yeah, and also if you guys are interested in a personal private reading, a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me once again through the description box. In the description box you'll find a listing. I can speak. Wow. Basically, I think I need a break after this reading. You can find my email and the contact and my website and on the contacts page through both of those methods. I can speak properly. What is going on? Expression. Yes, that's what I need to work on right now. You guys can reach out to me through those methods to request any of those things. Okay. All right, group one. I think I'm done. I need to take a little break. I love you guys. Okay, I'm sending you so much love and so much light, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, group one. I'll see you next time. Hey, group two. This is your reading if you chose, well, I mean, I can't really reveal the card because you guys chose the back of a card, but if you chose number 2, I guess this is your group. Before we begin and I do any explanations for you guys, let me just ring the singing bowl for you. Beautiful. Okay. All right, you guys. So for those of you who are new to my channel or new to this style of reading, I'll do a little breakdown of what it's going to look like very quickly. Also, I just wanted to let you guys know a couple of messages started coming through for me while I was shuffling your cards, and as far as revealing this beautiful little card, I will reveal it to you during the reading, during a portion of the reading. Okay, so we're going to first be looking, because this reading has a couple of sections. First, we're going to be looking at what you're currently experiencing. That's going to be like a little bit of an energy check for you guys to be like, yes, this is my reading, or maybe this isn't not the one for me. And then on the bottom of that, it's going to be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June. But while I was shuffling, and just now too, for a moment, I wanted to say July. So maybe some of you guys, because it is a general reading, could be bringing it into July a little bit too. And that's okay, because you could be overcoming it in the next few weeks, okay? And then we're going to be looking at what the material world focus for the month of July is, and then what divine would like you to focus on healing for the month of July, all right? As well as final messages too. This is the first time during this style of reading that I'm going to be doing a little mini seashell reading as well, just because I thought, why not, you know? And So we're going to start out with your seashell reading before we get into anything else. Okay. Oh, and the messages that I got while I was shuffling. I feel like there could be kind of people that want to get to know you, but they feel like they can't. All right. Like, I feel like you guys have a good barrier. Like, there's a part of you that maybe, and it's not necessarily towards everybody that you encounter, but I think that maybe for some of you guys, there could be a little bit of a wall, okay? Or there's a little bit of mystery that's kind of shrouded around you, and some people can't really they can't quite figure you out, you know? So there seems to be that kind of energy. Oh, and actually, I'll tell you when the cards are revealed, because you guys, I normally don't look at the cards when I'm shuffling them, so it's a surprise for all of us, but sometimes they flip over with the card facing up, and then obviously I see the card. Y'all, I can't wait to show you your cards. I can't wait till we get into the second portion of the reading. But let's start with your seashells, okay? So give me a moment. Headphone users, beware. It may be loud, okay, you guys? And also, if you hear TV noises, I'm sorry. Somebody's watching TV upstairs. Okay. Okay, you guys. I do want to let you guys know I don't look at the shells when I'm shuffling or ruffling through them. Rustling through them? I don't know. And I go with what tingles my finger, not just because there are different sizes, you know, and it would be very easy to just pick the same sizes. But I think it's interesting because you actually got 2 of your 4 shells are similar to the ones in group 1. So I feel like for some of you guys, I don't know, I feel like there's some kind of correlation. I'm not saying that one of these is your reading, and I'm not saying both of them are your reading. Oh my. Okay. Whoa, this shell is really trying to talk. I feel like, to be honest with you, some of you guys could be cross-watching. You could be watching something for yourself, and you could be watching something for somebody that you're interested in, or something along those lines. If you guys are doing that, I think there's a bit of a correlation. Okay, anyway, getting into your seashells. Give me one sec, guys. You've got this shell. Oops. This jumping shell, which I associate with Venus, which, yes. Oh my goodness, you guys. Okay. I'm excited to get into your cards. Then we've got this shell, as well as this very tiny little piece of shell, and this beautiful shell as well. Okay, give me one second just to see what I see when I look at these shells. Okay. All right, you guys. I have the urge to say I kind of feel like love could be knocking on somebody's door, okay? It doesn't have to be like deep, serious love, okay? It could just be a romantic connection, but it sort of feels like love could be knocking on somebody's door. And it's like, I feel like you guys are kind of opening it. You guys are kind of getting ready to open the door, but there seems to be something here that I don't know. I don't want to say it's a barrier, because I do feel like you guys are you're going to get to open the door, right? But I don't know. It does seem like there is something here. You know, I just looked at this self-esteem card, and this little shell is making me think of that too. I feel like you guys, you should be, if you don't mind me saying, feeling a little bit more highly of yourselves. You know, I don't think that you can see your true value or worth. I think you've gotten a little too bogged down into maybe like work or school life, and you're kind of in a grind. And so it's like you don't see the true, like maybe you've lost track a little bit of the true value of your life, okay? Because this shell is making me think of a king, all right? And it's funny too, because we do have masculine here. So I'm wondering if some of you guys have a naturally more masculine energy, or if you're cultivating that aspect of you guys, of yourselves, or if you're cross-watching. If you guys are cross-watching, by the way, please let me know, okay? I'm very curious. And for those of you who don't know what cross-watching is, it's basically when you're watching for somebody that you, I think I mentioned it earlier, when you're watching for somebody that you like or something like that. But yes, this is making me think of a king, okay? And then this is making me think of somebody who has no idea. I mean, look at the size difference. It is huge, right? It's like, it's kind of like, this is the truth of who this person is, who you are. And then this little tiny shell is how you present yourself or how you see yourself. And you've got this massive spirit, this massive energy, this massive like gift. There's a gift within you, okay, that is just kind of waiting for you to tap into. And it doesn't even feel like you have to do anything to really cultivate it. I kind of feel like all you have to do is, it's just there. It's just there, you know? It's kind of like waiting. It's not even waiting. It's just there, and it knows that when it's time, you're going to turn around and be like, okay, going to use this now, you know? Yeah, I feel like you guys are leveling yourselves up. Because I'm honestly getting a romantic connection for you guys. I know this is like this is so funny because I never really expect to be doing anything about romance during the healing focus ones, but to have two groups in a row that have some kind of possible touching on romantic connections, I think is very funny to me. It's very cute. I feel like you guys are, yeah, it's just there's this need to kind of see not even see, it's like, I feel like on some level there's kind of like a self-assuredness, and then on some level there's like a part that could be playing small or entertaining playing small a little too long, you know. I don't know, it feels a little complicated, and I think it may be a little harder to read because there seems to be a kind of like a barrier for you guys, kind of like a wall of protection. Like maybe there's something that you guys are burying, and because you're burying it, it's covering up other things too, or something along those lines. But I do feel like there is some kind of love, kind of association here. And I feel if you guys are the masculine energy, there's this beautiful, like the feminine energy that's coming through here, somebody who's kind of more, a little bit more aligned, okay? And you guys are getting into that. It's like you guys could work. You guys could be very good. And also, you can reverse that too. If you guys are the feminine, and then you're cross-watching for the masculine, you know what I mean? But so far, this energy seems to be about a masculine kind of person, okay? So, masculine energied person. But yeah, so the masculine energied person here is kind of playing a little... And it's again, it doesn't even feel like they genuinely think that they're less than or that they talk badly about themselves. It just feels like maybe they've been watching the chaos, right? It's kind of like, oh, you know, it makes me think of Undercover Boss, you know? I haven't watched the show like that, but I've seen little clips on YouTube, and it's like somebody comes in as a customer even though they're the person in charge of everything, you know? And they kind of observe to see how things are going, right? And then eventually they reveal themselves. Well, it kind of feels like this person, whoever this person is, right? Because now it's a little confusing because of the whole two people being picked up here. Initially, this, I guess, was talking about you guys. So again, apply as you do, okay? I feel like this king person, again, could be a woman. It doesn't have to, just because I'm saying king, you know, man, woman, whichever, is like the undercover boss, you know, like they've got this incredible big boss kind of energy, right? And they have been in this place playing small. It's not, and again, it's not like an insecurity or anything. They weren't actually stooping to people's level. It's just kind of like, sneaky is not the right word, but it's like undercover, just in disguise, like observing. That's it. It's like observing, an observer, you know, and it's getting close to time for them to stop observing and to start kind of doing something or moving forward or taking action. So it's like, come on, it's almost your time to reveal that you're the undercover boss, you know? I hope that makes sense. I know that was kind of a weird example, but yeah, you guys, that's what I'm mainly getting for your seashell reading. So let's get these aside and start your cards. I do also want to let you guys know as well that I've noticed this video is kind of going a lot longer than these videos tend to be. So if you guys were hoping for just a 20-minute reading, I don't know if it'll happen or not. We'll see. You know, only time will tell, but hopefully it does, okay? All right, you guys. So we've got the 3 of Cups, the 7 of Swords. Interesting. You guys have a lot of like, okay, I'm going to stop mentioning it. The connection between something else. So we've got the High Priestess and the King of Cups. Okay, this is so interesting because I feel like this reading is split in two. Like it's 2 kinds of people. There's either the feminine energy that's watching or the masculine. There's kind of a mix. Okay, and then we've got the 9 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, which is funny because when I first started shuffling this deck, I split the deck and the first thing I saw was the 7 of Wands in this deck. And then the 7 of Wands actually came out for this deck. We've got the 5 of Swords and the 4 of Cups, okay? And then we'll look at the other cards later. I'll set them to the side here. All right, you guys, so what you're currently experiencing. Give me a second. Okay. Okay. All right, you guys, I feel... All right. It seems like there really is kind of a romantic interest here. So I guess love could be the next chapter. I don't know. There's romance in the air, you know. I mean, the shells did say love is knocking on the door. So it does seem like there are 2 energies that are very much kind of attracted. They've got some kind of a tie or an attraction to each other. Okay, I feel like you guys could be attracted to somebody, whoever the feminine energy is in this, whether it's you guys or the person that you're thinking about, and vice versa with the masculine energy. I feel like the feminine energy here is very spiritual, very, I want to say awakened, ascended, right? Or working on that ascension process. Like spiritually, they're like, just like we saw with those shells, right? They're more in alignment. There's a little bit more free flowing. There's a bit more surrender going on here. And then the masculine energy that I'm picking up on here is, again, it's like the masculine energy is extremely observant. They've got a very kind, like, yeah, I guess kind, I didn't mean to say kind, but it came out. So a very kind patience. If patience can be, I guess, yes, patience can be kind, right? Because you can be irritatedly waiting for something, or you could be kindly waiting for something. And I feel like this masculine energy has that kind of a vibe. They do feel a little bit hot and cold because they're unsure of, masculine energy is not entirely sure of what to make of the situation. Though because I'm getting like very much Cancer vibes with this King of Cups. I'm not saying the masculine is a Cancer. Whenever you mention signs, it's just a kind of energy that is affiliated, okay? So it does feel like a crab that is starting to kind of open up, lower the defenses a little bit. And again, the defenses seems like a wrong word. It's just like, I don't know. It's kind of like going from being an observer to becoming a player, to being like, okay, now I'll play in the game, you know? I don't know how to word it better at the moment. And then we've also got, so that's what I'm saying. I kind of feel like the universe is kind of, I don't know, there's some kind of guide. It feels like there's some kind of spirit guide or some kind of exterior spiritual energy, okay, that is kind of giving these 2 feminine, like this feminine and masculine energy, a kind of interest or curiosity about each other. It's like an exploration, like advice for an exploration. Wow, this is so, I'm sorry, you guys. If this is your first time watching one of these kinds of readings of mine, well, welcome, hello. But I'm a little bewildered because it usually doesn't go like this. This tends to only be about a specific person, but I'm curious to know now who's going to be watching these groups. So if you guys are open to it, if you're open to coming out of your little shell and being a little bit more public, or you know, if you really don't mind, you can share and let me know in the comments below if this is your group or not. Okay. And then we've got this energy of friendship. Okay. And it doesn't feel like this friendship is necessarily between these two parties. All right, you guys, it kind of feels like what's that word? What's that word? Oh my gosh. I think it's like instigating. Yeah, it kind of feels like there are external forces that are instigating in this natural curiosity that these two people could have for each other. Okay, so it feels like the universe, or like some kind of guide, this feels like some kind of exterior energy. Okay, so whether it could, yeah, like this one is a little unclear. It's nothing bad. It's not a betrayal. It's not, or anything. It's literally kind of like a sneakiness, kind of like a he 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 he. We're gonna leave these two alone. You know, yes, because it seems like, okay, here's the story. Here's the story, you guys, because you guys have a story. All right. It almost kind of feels as though, like, for example, if it's people who are in school, it could be teachers, it could be student, like whatever, you know, or at work, it could be coworkers or friends or whatever it is. It just feels like there could be people that kind of see the connection between these two, and maybe they could be making little comments here and there, you know, and it kind of feels like because of that, you know, they didn't get the like there was, I don't want to say like static or something, but it's like they didn't get the opportunity to actually get to know each other, these two people. Okay, and then the universe is kind of like, oh, don't worry, I'll leave the two of you guys alone. I'm gonna take these little obstacles out the way. Here's a little bit of alone time. That's kind of what it feels like. Okay, and yeah. I don't know, this is a very weird energy check. I don't even know how to relate it. I mean, if your reading is going to be completely different than everybody else, that's okay. I guess that's the kind of reading you guys are meant to experience during this session of ours. But yes, okay, so that's what I'm getting is like currently going on. Like there's some kind of a romantic interest, and there's this possibility of kind of spending a little bit of alone time together, slash getting the instigators, even if you care about them, a little bit kind of like, okay guys, stop interfering, you know, give them a little privacy. Okay, moving on, what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June. Okay, this is where the energy starts to be like back to who I was initially talking about in the beginning when I was saying the things that I was picking up on, like the defense, like, you know, the undercover boss thing, like that masculine kind. Again, it could be the feminine or masculine, but maybe it's whoever this reading was for. This is where the energy starts coming back to them. Okay, so I kind of feel as though, so I'll start saying you now. All right, you guys. So what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June. And remember, we talked about it possibly trickling into the first week or maybe 2 of July. It depends on the individual, okay? But yeah, it kind of seems as though this defensiveness, this kind of overprotection, this yeah, it's like this energy of observing for too long and then missing out on an opportunity. Okay, that's what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in June. You guys don't have to just, it's like, again, it's like we were saying, it's like it's getting very close for that undercover boss to show themselves. It's time to reveal themselves. Okay, so I think that's where it's coming in with this. It's like this person is getting like you guys have the opportunity to leave behind this defensiveness. Like you don't have to be on edge because friends are getting in the way or kind of instigating something or insinuating something or something along those lines. Okay, it's not about what those people are saying, no matter how kind they are, how sweet they are, or whatever, because it doesn't seem malicious at all. It just kind of feels like friends, you know, or like it could be like just for lack of a better word, like girl talk or whatever. Okay, again, regardless of gender. So I do feel like that's what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind. It's kind of like that defense that maybe hearing this kind of stuff is bringing up, and that weird, I don't know, static or whatever. It's like you guys can drop that. Otherwise, you know, too much stagnation could just lead to feeling like you missed out on an opportunity to get to know somebody. It doesn't even have to necessarily go past just getting to know each other. Maybe it could just be a friendship, you know, though I am seeing it's more romantically involved, to be completely honest with you guys. But it doesn't have to go as far, like you can go within your comfort zone. This could be a very cool person for you guys to get to know, okay? But if you guys are overly kind of keeping that distance or that kind of shell that we talked about, right? You may feel kind of sad. Like even I don't know why I keep saying the word kind of. Sorry about that, guys. But it's like I'm getting a little bit of sadness here, okay, on missing out a situation. Because look, this person is kind of, again, I'm doing it, okay, looking down, and they're looking at the cups. Everything is all right, but there's something that's not quite there. They're not entirely sure what it is, you know, and they're on their own here. And then the universe, just like it was coming and interfering here, is giving this person a cup. And they're saying, look at it. It's time to take, you're getting ready to go reach out your hand and grab the cup. We're giving you an opportunity here. Okay. So it's like the universe pushed these people aside and gave these two people an opportunity. That's kind of what's coming through here as well. Okay, guys. Yes. Wow. What an interesting play of events. All right, you guys, let's see what else we've got coming through in your reading, which this is the part I'm excited about. Yes. Okay, next we're going to be looking at the material world focus, as well as what divine would like you to focus on healing. All right, you guys, and we're going to reveal this card too. So first, let's look at the material world focus. Okay, we have the Lovers. This is, okay, I'll say it after I put everything down. We have the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups. Okay, that's so funny because we had the King of Cups as well. So we got the Queen of Cups. We have the Eight of Wands. Then we have Archangel Orifiel with the Wild Within. Ooh. And we have Archangel Azrael with Celestial Peace and Unity. We have Love, Creativity, Relationships, Truth, and then these are final messages we'll get into after. So let me set these cards a little more this way. And I hope you guys can see them well. Like the light's not blanching out the cards, I hope. And let's reveal this card. I'm curious to see what it you guys, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, what the heck, y'all. I swear I did not see any of these cards, any of the 4 cards that you guys chose from. None of them were revealed to me. None of them fell face up. They just kind of came out of the unicorn deck and I set them as they were. You guys, it is partnership. Oh my goodness. Oh, I feel so giddy. Oh my goodness. Okay, it says teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with. Build up a talented support team. But you guys, partnership. Y'all, you can't make this, like you literally can't make this kind of stuff. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That to me is like bewildering. I don't even know. Y'all, that is incredible. Okay. Also, before I give you that little explanation of what I was excited about, I did want to let you guys know the top facing of this card, of this deck, for example, we have Joy, but we also had Divine Love with Archangel Ramiel. You guys, Divine Love and Joy. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm getting chills. I just got so many chills. And then we also have Yellow Spectrum, which I think this is interesting because Joy is also that yellow color. So there's a lot of lightness going on here. Okay. Let me tell you why I was so like, oh my goodness. All right. You guys, when I first started shuffling this deck, I split the deck and I saw the Lover's card and I was like, oh, interesting. But I was like, I'm not going to take it because I just split the deck. I haven't shuffled yet, you know. So I started shuffling. Lo and behold, I start shuffling. this card flies out, okay? It flies out separately from other cards that were coming out for this reading. It was just like, boom, you know? And I was like, okay, you wanted to come out. I get it. This is so interesting, you know? I was like, that's exciting. That's cute. The lovers. We'll see what it's about. And then I split the deck for here, and lo and behold, it was love. And when I shuffled, and you know, so I split the deck, I got love, and then I split the deck again, and while I was shuffling, and got relationships, and the relationships card came out. Like after I kept shuffling, even though I split the deck. So I was like, oh my goodness, there is so much love energy here. Okay, like there is a connection coming through for sure. So that's why I was excited. So when I was seeing that other kind of romantic stuff coming through, that was kind of surprising for me. But all right, let me get a hold of myself, and let's see what your cards are saying. So give me one sec, you guys, and we'll see what the material focus for you is for the month of July. Okay. Okay, I see it. I see it. It's still about love, you guys. Still very much about love. It's like this has to do with the approach, right? So we talked about whoever group 2 is specifically supposed to be for, whoever's reading this is. Group 2, it's like that shell that we talked about, that kind of observer play, right? And like coming out of that stage and like actually becoming a player. Not like a player like, you know, playboy or playgirl or whatever, but like a player in the game. Like putting your chess piece into the game so that you can actually play chess, you know? It's not like sneaky or anything. It's just kind of, it's like going from looking from the wall to actually being actively a part of this aspect of your life, okay? So it feels like with this Lovers card, this is like divine coming through and giving you an opportunity. Like they're not giving, you know, they're not giving too much energy of the potential of this connection. And I think because the whole point is both of you guys, both parties are in a place where it should be just, it's kind of like you guys are, it's supposed to unfold naturally, right? You're not supposed to know the result of the connection or if it's going to be good or whatever. I mean, it's going to be fine, you know, I don't think it's going to be bad, but you're not supposed to know the result, like the longevity or anything along those lines, because it's just, I feel like this is something that's going to be very kind and healing for both of you guys. And the whole point is just to encourage you guys to try to come together in your own way, you know, and whatever you choose to do with that connection afterwards, that's all on you. But there's something here about the two of you guys coming together that could be very, again, I'm getting the word kind and good for each other, okay? So it does feel like the masculine energy here. Again, like this just kind of feels like the message from divine, and then this is what's going on. So it's like you guys are being made aware of each other. There's some kind of a draw, right? Just like I was saying, like with those instigators, for example, with those friends or whoever it could be, coworkers, schoolmates, teachers, whatever it is, you know, family, whoever it could be. It's like they were getting in the way because they kept putting in their energy, and both parties could have been like, stop, please, you guys are not helping. But the universe made it possible for you guys to kind of have a moment where you can interact on your own together, you know? And now it's kind of like the universe is saying, don't let other people come in between. This is something that you guys have got to be the players, okay? Nobody else can come and be messengers for you guys. And it shouldn't be that way. It should be the two of you guys. It almost feels like, for whatever reason, something between these two people, it's like you work best in a quiet, like a quiet environment. I don't know how to even, it's like what I'm seeing in my head, right, is peaceful, a peaceful environment. So it's kind of like you guys are the only two people in this foresty, like this valley like area with water and whatever, by a pond or something, a lake or something like that. And because you guys are the only two people, there's no interference. The energy is gentle. Both of you guys are gentle. And you can come up to each other and have this communication. But because there's such a gentle energy between this couple here, it feels like other people's interference, especially in the beginning stages, is kind of it's like adding I don't want to say chaos. Chaos is not the right word, but for lack of a better word, we'll say that for now. You know, it's like disturbance, interference, okay? They're adding in too much noise that it's distracting. So these two people can't walk up to each other. So it's like there's an emphasis of like quiet being around the two of you guys. Like there seems to be a peace, like a peace. And the material focus again, right? This is all about approaching and being approached, okay? That is so funny because this is such a love reading. It's not even, I guess maybe that is the next phase of healing for you guys, is your love life, okay? So that could be why. But yes, so it's the masculine energy approaching the feminine, okay? And it's interesting because we talk about self-esteem and we talk about, oh, and we've got communication underneath that, which I think is interesting. But yes, we talk about self-esteem and we talk about masculine energy kind of, for lack of a better term again, right? It's really being an observer, but we'll say again, for lack of a better term, playing small, all right? And you kind of see that here too, right? Because in the previous cards, he came out as king. I'm saying he because it's masculine. It doesn't have to be an actual man, you know, take it with discretion, you guys. Or not, you know, as you will, whatever. So the masculine was coming out as a king, and the feminine was coming out as a high priestess, which is a major arcana card. Okay, that's higher. Those are the highest level cards, the major arcana cards. Then we've got a queen and then a knight. So it's kind of like there seems to be something about, I don't know if it's I don't think it's an unworthy, maybe it's like thinking that, you know, the feminine would not be as receptive to the masculine because they're not on the same page or something. I don't know. There's some kind of a difference here, and the masculine is the one who is supposed, like the feminine seems to just be standing here saying, okay, like you can approach me. I'm approachable. You can approach me. I'm holding my cup open, you know, if you want to come take it, but I'm not going to walk over to you and give it all to you. And that's good because this is actually the empowerment of the feminine. Okay. They've worked to get to this place. And then the masculine is the one who's supposed to come in now and make that effort. Okay. Like come in, like step forward, make an effort. Yeah. It's just make an effort, you know, keep kind of approaching, because even the Eight of Wands is travel. It is literally, it is moving and it's communicate. Oh, that's so funny. We just talked about communication. Eight of Wands is travel and communication. Travel to the person, right? Literally communicate and go to this person. So it's funny because it seems like July could be, and again, free will is involved. The masculine has to kind of move past this thing within themselves to kind of go for it. But it seems like the feminine energy is just receptive. So it's kind of there like waiting, like, okay, if you're ready to come talk to me, you know? So it's up to the masculine here to be like, okay, I'm gonna come up to you now, you know? All right. And you guys have been placed in each other's paths for some kind of a purpose. But again, it's not gonna be too revealed here, all right? And then we've got what divine would like you to focus on healing. So give me one sec. Okay. Part of it feels like it's about being completely open and yourself next to somebody. Okay. Group 2. So this is now the message for group 2. Now we're out of this little dynamic here. It's about being open, right? It's about being completely yourself and expressive, having somebody on a romantic sense that kind of sees all of you, not just the current you, but can also handle and see the past you and can see the future you. It's like really about being seen exactly as you are, not just the good things, but also the things that maybe you don't feel as proud about, you know, like things that you could be or saying not the most positive traits, okay? It's like having somebody who can see you. I mean, look at this Lover's card. These people are looking right at each other, okay? And these snakes, they're eye to eye. They can see each other, all right? Because even with the colors, you've got the yin-yang kind of energy going on, right? Where the white side is the light. It is clarity. It is masculine. The dark side is wild. It is chaos. It is feminine. Hot, cold, you know? Knowledge or like wisdom and then inner knowing. Okay, or I guess, I mean, it's kind of muffled with that example, but you know what I mean? It's like they're complementary and they are looking right at each other, okay? It may not seem like something that could work out or, I don't know, maybe last. And it's okay that you guys are unclear of where this is going. You're not supposed to know everything in your life, you know? Or be able to kind of feel out everything or predict everything. It's okay. But it feels like this is part of your healing, right? This healing is getting somebody who, because this Queen of Cups is unconditional, okay? This feminine energy is unconditional. And I feel like for the masculine, it's like they can see that, which is why when it's quiet, they can feel safe to kind of communicate, right? But it is literally, the masculine is getting a chance for someone to open their heart, or not open their heart, but like to welcome them in completely, open-heartedly, unconditionally, not really expecting anything in return apart from respect and reciprocation, right? It's like the feminine is not asking for more of you. It's just, I'm here with a cup. The only thing I want in return is for you to offer something as well. So, and it's like the masculine may think like, oh, but I don't know what I could really offer this feminine energy. But it's like this feminine energy is in the water, right? She gets emotional aspects, whereas this masculine energy is more in the practical, the material, the physical world, okay? So this can be complementary. You guys don't have to give each other the same things back, right? Because maybe the feminine doesn't need the same kind of like thing that she's giving back. Maybe she actually needs this pentacle more, this earthy energy more, or this practical energy more. Okay, just like he may need the support of the emotional energy more. Okay, and I'm saying he and she again because of just the people on the cards, all right, guys? But yeah, so it may seem like they're not completely equal, but you don't have to look at their place in the world or whatever for that. It's not about, again, that seems like an external factor. It's like there seems to be a lot of emphasis of, because even here there's no external factor, okay? You can see they're like surrounded by clouds. They're in a world of their own. It's not about the external factors in this connection. It's about what feels good to these two people, okay? So the masculine doesn't have to feel like they can't approach, I don't know, like and not even that, I don't know. It's a little tricky, I think, because there's this weird kind of mystery between it all. But yeah, so I think there's just some kind of a divine encouragement to give it a try, okay? And that's where the healing is coming in. To be in a connection that's actually peaceful, that is unconditional, like we mentioned before, where both parties are, it's like for example, we're talking about the feminine being emotional, right? Okay, if the feminine is very emotional and they can be super feeling, being with somebody else who's super emotional and super feeling to the same extent could be overwhelming for both of them. But because the masculine here has like this more grounded energy, that's what the feminine needs in the moment when the feminine is super feeling and you know, like overwhelmed and stuff. They need that grounding energy to kind of bring them back a little bit. And when the masculine is getting a little too caught up in the material and like what's going on in the physical world, the feminine is coming through with that kind of guidance and support and saying, hey, it's okay. You know, if anything, the feminine energy is here for you. Okay. So it's like, it's very sweet. It's very gentle. It's very nurturing. It's two people coming together to kind of like, they both are getting to a place where they're receiving, you know, but they're also both giving. So, because they were already, you know, the giving energy was already kind of there, but it's like they're also kind of receiving. I don't know, it's very balanced. It's very cute. It's very cute. And yeah, I think it's kind of, like I'm saying, it's literally, that's what it feels like. Like both of these people are now getting into a connection where they can really truly experience what it means to be giving and receiving at the same time. So it's like, it's practice, I guess, for both of them. You know, it's kind of new territory for both of them. This kind of kindness and unconditional, like, hey, it's okay. You know, you can be exactly who you want to be with me. I like you I like all these aspects about you. I think it's cool, you know, and vice versa. And again, with truth, group 2, it's about opening up, expressing yourself, revealing, okay? It's like these two people kind of revealing. And I keep hearing like, you've got time, you know, you've got time, it's okay. Like, don't go by other people's standards or pace, okay? It's about you guys just getting to know each other and coming together in that way. Even here with this partnership, it's like one of these unicorns is lighter and this one is a little shadier, right? A little darker. So again, it's like that balance, okay? And like they're meeting at the same level because look, both of their horns are glittering, okay? It's like these two snakes looking at each other with this light in the middle, okay? So I think that's so incredible, you guys. I think the healing focus here is getting yourself into a connection that feels good and comfortable, going at the pace that feels comfortable for you guys, and getting things reciprocated in it because you guys give. So getting things reciprocated to you, you know, it's very kind and it's very sweet. So let's get the final energies for you guys, okay? Oh, wow. This is so funny. You guys have such interest. It's interesting. Oh, right. By the way, on the bottom of the deck here, we've got Chiron, which is the wounded healer. Okay. So that's why I'm saying it's like both of you guys are getting an example of a healthy connection because you're going to be reciprocating, because it seems as though, because a wounded healer, right? They give what they want to, they give what it is that they need to be receiving, the kind of healing that they need, they give to others, okay? So it's like two of those people coming together and giving the healing to each other. And in turn, also, because this connection has that kind of a aspect, they're in turn healing themselves too. It's very kind. And I also want to point out the energy at the bottom. Wow, we keep getting like, it's so funny because group 1, we talked about, we had the 5th house, which is Leo energy, and we've got Leo energy here too. But we got Venus, and you guys, we mentioned the feminine being Venus energy, and it's also kind of that love energy. So I think that's very interesting too. But yes, we've got the lunar eclipse. And what I was saying was interesting about your cards is you guys have so many cards here that when I split the deck to shuffle, the cards appeared. So I split the deck and I split the deck to this lunar eclipse, and I was like, interesting. And then I kept shuffling and I guess it came out, you know? So I think that's very fascinating. And then we've got Aquarius with Sense and Valens with Ascend. Yeah. So with the lunar eclipse, again, it's kind of like something about this, because even the color schemes kind of match this Lovers card a little bit, you know? It's like something about this connection. It's not for the world to see. Again, it's like these two people have their own private place. It feels very private, very much just kind of like getting together in the quiet. Just the two of them, you know, without other energies coming in the way. And this lunar eclipse is giving me that vibe too. It's like I don't remember what it is. Is it like the moon is being covered by the earth and the light of the sun makes the moon look red? I don't remember the way that lunar eclipses work, but that's just what it's giving me. It's like that privacy for them to come together. It's very gentle. The energy between these two people is very gentle. It's very kind, and it's very peaceful. I mean, we have celestial peace and unity, okay? And the wild within, it's kind of like, again, getting that full expression of both of you guys being unapologetically yourselves, okay? And I'm getting that with the masculine especially, and the feminine coming forward as what the feminine energy is. Yeah, so it's something about this. It's like, this is also giving off Scorpio energy to me. So again, it's transformation, it's transcendence, it's healing, okay? It's healing. Yeah, it's healing. And then we've got with sense and ascend, and with Aquarius, the fact that it's even Aquarius energy, Aquarius is unique, it's different, okay? And it's not conventional. And again, I think that's why there's this emphasis on you guys doing it the way that feels good to you, not going with other people's influence or what they're guiding you to say or whatever, or giving you advice or whatnot. It's how you guys are supposed to play it out, because it's these two people are in the connection, not everybody else. So how does it feel good for you guys to go about, right? Like maybe okay, like this is just an example, okay? Say the masculine has hung out with, or vice versa. Okay, one of these people has hung out, well, I guess since the masculine has to be the one to approach, we'll say the masculine, has hung out with like, I don't know. Okay, those friends, right? Those friends, they could be people that both of these people know. And maybe the masculine hangs out with those friends too. And like, they've actually, like the masculine is cool with all of them, right? But then this spark happened with this Queen of Cups. And those friends kind of know that the Queen of Cups could be interested, and they kind of sense something coming from the Knight of Pentacles. And so they do the instigation thing, right? But before the instigation, the Knight of Pentacles could have hung out with those friends, just like the Queen of Cups could have hung out with those friends. And like these two just talked in passing, right? And now the friends are like, well, you know what? You guys should, you know, like suggesting to one of them, you guys should go and hang out on your own too, you know? That's the next step. That's the next step. And it's like, if these two are just comfortable talking and passing for now, until one day when, you know, again, it kind of feels like the masculine could be the one suggesting it. I think it would be best, because this feminine needs to be approached. You know, this feminine is standing there waiting to be approached. So I think it's something about the healing for the masculine to be going about and doing this too. I don't know. Or like an empowerment thing, something along those lines. So if it doesn't feel right for them to hang out or go on a date or just hang out with each other outside of wherever it is that they normally communicate, when everybody else has already done that with both of them separately, that's okay. They don't have to go with this pace, you know? So it's unconventional, you know what I mean? Maybe it takes forever for them to exchange numbers, or maybe it takes forever for them to actually start, like I said, going out or something like that. Like not even going out on dates, but just hanging out together, you know? I don't know. It's something along those lines. It's like people aren't going to understand why it's going the way that it is. And it's like, it doesn't matter. Don't let people interfere in this connection. Okay. And then as far as ascend, Yeah, the sun is kind of going with that healing energy that we've got here. And sense too. Even the word sense, right? It's like you guys will sense when it's time to take the next step, when it's time to move forward, when what's going on between the two of you guys. Okay? Yeah. And let's get the final message with our dice here as well. Okay. We've got Cancer, the 4th house. Interesting. We've got Chiron, and we have the number 12. So what I think is interesting is we've got Cancer, right? Which I mentioned, like the masculine energy is kind of giving off that Cancer vibe. So I feel like that's emphasizing it too. But even with Cancer, if you look, it's like these people are like filling in the gap. It makes me think of that yin yang kind of energy, right? There's one end here, one end here. It's kind of like filling in the gap. But it's also, again, that Cancer. And you know what? Cancers have a little shell, right? There's a little bit of privacy there. There's kind of like a quiet, and yeah, so it kind of is giving off that. And it also kind, right? But it's giving very much that vibe. Then we've got the 4th house, which funnily enough is ruled by Cancer. So that's double the Cancer energy. We've got a lot of watery kind of ties between these two people coming through. And then we've got Chiron, which is interesting because this doesn't look like Chiron to me. This looks like Ceres, to be honest with you, which Ceres is like a healing, nurturing kind of an energy. But I think it's probably, I'm just looking to see what other asteroids are here, and there are none. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be Chiron, which again is talking about that healing. Okay, regardless if it's Ceres or Chiron, it's still talking about that healing, that nurturing energy. And the 12th house, well, this 12 is giving me 12th house energy, okay? 12th house is ruled by Pisces. It is the house of mysteries, and it's like, literally, it is hidden things. It's the house of hidden things. So again, it's this privacy is coming through, and these two people kind of having their own plane of communicating, like their own plane of existence just to communicate. I don't know, it's very interesting. Okay. Yeah, that was your reading group too. Thank you for tuning in so that I can do such an interesting reading, you guys. I was not expecting to be doing this today, but thanks for that. That was fun. Very fascinating as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you guys chose this group, if you were cross-watching, if it's about you guys, who are you in this dynamic, and all of this stuff, okay? And yeah, and also if you guys are if you like the video, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of my stuff and be notified of when I post new things, I'd appreciate if you subscribe to the channel as well, okay? And if you guys are interested in a personal private reading, a custom crystal bracelet, or a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me through the contacts page on my website or through the my email, which are listed in the description box below. All right, I'm also trying to be more active on Instagram, you guys, so if you want to give me a follow, that's also in the description box below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? Lots of light, and I hope you have a great one, group 2. I'll see you guys next time. Bye guys, and good luck on this little journey, okay? Keep me posted if you'd like. Bye. Hey group 3, welcome to your reading, my friends. This is your group if you chose the 3rd card. I will not reveal it to you just yet. I will actually reveal it to you afterwards, but first I'm going to ring the singing bowl for you. Okay, and I'm going to set your card to the side. I just finished shuffling the rest of your cards, you guys. Also, I just wanted to let you know how the layout is going to be for those of you who are new to the channel or new to these readings. Basically, we're going to be taking a look. It's going to be in a couple of different sections, okay, you guys? The first section is going to be, what are you currently experiencing? It's going to be like a bit of an energy check to see if this is your group or not. And then below that will be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June, okay? And then the next section, we're going to look at what your material world focus for July will be. And then we're also going to take a look at what Divine wants you to focus on healing for the month of July. All right, you guys, and then final messages after that. We will be doing a bit of a seashell reading before any of this begins. All right, you guys. And I've been telling every group what kind of insights I've been getting while shuffling. Well, I guess I can leave your cards there for now. That's fine. And during the shuffling process for you guys, I'm going to be honest, I felt kind of tired and my head hurts, or my head was hurting. And I felt kind of, I don't want to say out of it, but almost like there's not that much like desired, I don't know, desire may be the wrong word, but it's like my mind is being cleared, you know, of thoughts, kind of. I hope that made sense. So let me know if somebody is feeling like that with the headaches too. Something that I did happen to see as I was shuffling cards, like the cards that ended up being the final cards, I noticed that, like, for example, we have Awaken here, and when I split the deck I saw Spirit as well. So I do think, I know I was talking to another friend of mine that's a reader, and they were mentioning how everybody is talking about ascension symptoms. So I think that this could be one of yours, you guys, like an awakening symptom, a little bit like these headaches. And I think for you guys, you are also developing a gift stronger, because we do have the High Priestess on the bottom here too. The gift that you guys are developing is claircognizance. It feels like I feel like you guys are just getting divine downloads, you know? I think you guys, some of you guys could also be into like light language and looking into like spiritual music and things like that. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the seashell portion of your reading. Okay, it's just going to be a very light little advice or something that comes through. Okay, guys, so give me a moment. Headphone wearers beware. Okay, it may be a little loud. Ooh, all right, you guys. I wasn't looking at the shells when I was sifting through them, but let's reveal them. We've got this shell. We also have this shell. I hope you can see all of the details. I have the lights, the main lights off, because it's my eyes were hurting. Like, it was a bit of a, there's so much light being directed here. Here's the final shell. This one is a cool shell because it literally has a perfect square in the, well, kind of a perfect square in the middle. Okay. Allah. Oh my goodness. Oh, that scared me. I'm sorry, you guys, that scared me, because these are real shells and this one is very thin. It could have been very fragile. It could have broke. Okay. Anyway, give me a moment, you guys, to see what I'm seeing with the shells. Okay. For whatever reason, I keep wanting to call your group Group 4 as well. So for those of you that may have been drawn to Group 4, who are coming from Group 4, hello. That if you were drawn to Group 4, this may be your sign to possibly check it out too, okay? Okay, I feel like with you guys, there's a bit of an inner battle going on. It seems as though it's like you guys have cultivated some kind of knowledge, okay? Like you guys have received or like done enough research on some kind of spiritual knowledge, or like, say for example, you were depressed and then you started looking at affirmations for making you feel happier. And it's like you have some tools, you have some tools, right? Some knowledge. But it seems like even though you have these tools and like you know what to do and all of this stuff, like you guys are still kind of feeling a little in the bog, or you know, a little bogged down, or like it's kind of, it feels unclear, it feels kind of fuzzy. It feels as though like even though you know what you're supposed to be doing or what would help you get out of this state, you kind of can't help but feel like you're stuck in a bit of a state. Yeah, it feels like a little bit of a spiritual war within you, you know, like the war between the things that have kept you down from the past and all of this knowledge and growth that you've already accumulated and gone through. So it's like a part of you is being tugged in the direction of like this ascension and all of this stuff, and then a part of you could be like the old part may be trying to hold on to what it knew in the past, and so it's causing this little tug of war. And I feel like that's where you guys are getting your headaches from too. Or like you may be feeling extra tired, right? If it's not the headaches, you may be feeling like your eyes hurt, or like those kinds of symptoms, you know, like maybe your eyes are sensitive. I think also you may need to sleep more. You may need to get more rest, okay? And it's normal. Just know that this is kind of part of it. I feel like right now you're going through a deeper lesson in regards to surrender, okay? It feels like there's more surrender going on here, or advice to surrender. I also feel as though, yeah, it kind of feels like you guys are going on almost a little bit of like a shamanic journey. I think that's where this conflict is going to get its resolve, you know, where you're going to be able to find balance between the dark and the light within you to kind of live in a more harmonious state. But right now I feel like it's like you're trying to accept other parts of yourself, you know, because you know that the dark is just as much a part of us as the light, but maybe you're having a hard time accepting, or like trying to find a balance of like what is acceptable and what is not, what is okay, what is not. It's just, it feels a little, like I said, fuzzy, right? Conflicting, confusing a bit. And I think that's also kind of the symbology of the headphones, of the headaches. And it's interesting that I did say headphones by accident, because or I was going to say headphones, and then I mentioned something about music earlier. So I do feel like there could be some kind of a connection with, maybe it's good for you to listen to more music. Try to listen to more positive things if you can. Maybe some of you guys could be listening to some podcasts, you know. I feel like listening to soothing things can be good for you right now. Whether it's like ASMR, listening to people's voices that you find soothing. I feel like something about, with so much stimulation going on in your mind, and like in your energetic / spiritual kind of realms, it's nice for you guys to have some kind of a distraction, like hearing good distraction to kind of get your mind off of it, okay? And also, let me see what else I'm getting here. Yeah, there's this feeling of like wanting to fill a need, like it's kind of like an dissatisfaction, you know. It's frustration, really. I think it's a frustration because it's confusing, not knowing what to do in this situation, and it's leaving this sensation of frustration, because it's like you're trying to be spiritual, but at the same time you just want to be human. It's very much kind of like this this inner conflict between spirituality and just being human. So I feel like that's kind of coming through for you guys. And just know that it's okay. Honestly, this is part of the journey. And I know that you guys probably know that. Maybe some of you would like the reminder. Maybe some of you guys are maybe annoyed by the reminder or getting a little triggered. That's okay too. All right. That's just that frustration in action. And unfortunately, the only thing that I can say at the moment, until we look at your cards, really is you may just have to ride it out, you know? I know it can be frustrating and it can be very, like, tense. And it can sometimes feel like, yeah, I am hearing the word maddening, you know? It's kind of like frustrating. So it's okay. You guys are going to overcome this. And maybe if you have like a eureka moment, because I know that you guys feel like maybe you understand where it's coming from. Some of you guys don't. But if you have this moment where you're like, for example, if you're seeing something coming up, right? And it's frustrating you even more. If it's like a specific animal or thing, you know, maybe you can look up what it symbolizes and see how it can apply to what's going on in your life right now. Because maybe that could be one of the reasons why it keeps coming up too. Okay? So hopefully that was helpful to somebody. But let's get into your cards, you guys. Okay, we'll look at these later. We'll start out with the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Two of Wands. We also have the 10 of Cups, the 7 of Wands, the 8 of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords. Wow, so far, every group has gotten a version of the 7 of Swords. That's very interesting. I'm wondering if the next group will have it too. Okay. Okay, give me one moment, you guys, to see what I'm seeing. I hope that the glare is not too intrusive here. It looks like it's probably okay on the camera. Yeah, because I don't want to have to turn off the light if I don't need to. I mean, turn on the light, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so here I'm seeing you guys, okay? Somebody who's very much striving towards going with an open heart and surrendering to the will of divine. It's like we talked a little bit about surrender, right? And it's like you guys are really trying to be in the state of surrender. But a lot of people, I will say, have currently felt some kind of disturbance in the force, you know, like they felt a little uprooted or more irritated or more, or like they felt fear, you know, like there's something that kind of went around a little bit. So you guys aren't the only ones, okay, that may have had a little bit of an uproot. Just know it's like a test of your strength, and it's supposed to help you guys to develop more strength, okay? But yes, so I'm seeing you guys as being normally, like there's this passion. You guys are now excited about life, right? And you're getting these miracles and these blessings that keep coming to you. And it's all great, right? Like things are coming in. Things are coming in quicker than you would have thought that they would ever come in the material sense. But there's still some kind of a, I don't know, something. Yeah. And there's still some kind of a something. I don't think it was as intense as it was maybe a week or two ago. Okay. But it feels like there's a little bit of that, whatever we were talking about earlier, kind of lingering for you guys. I also feel like you guys are actively trying to get yourself out of this state. You know, you're trying to distract yourself. You're trying to kind of give yourself the moment to breathe before you get back into really pushing forward again. Let me see what else I can get here. you know, I noticed there's a lot of noise going on for me here, and I think when I rang the singing bowl for you guys, it accidentally did a double ring. So I really do feel like noise, like maybe you guys should also be using your voice more, okay? Like expressing yourself more. And I don't even mean like necessarily talking to people, though I do think that you guys have gotten better at that. Like, I do think you guys are communicating with somebody about what you're going through, and that's good, okay? It's good to communicate. That's very, like, we'll applaud you for that, okay? It's good to communicate because this is a test of your, not a test, this is kind of a showing of your growth, how far you've gone past where you were before. But I feel like maybe you guys should start singing or chanting, or maybe try doing mantras. Like there's some kind of involvement with sound, especially melodic kind of sound as well. Maybe some of you guys are looking into light language, and you can look up, you can give it a shot, you know, try it for yourself, because it's honestly, I think anybody can tap into it if you just surrender, right? Keyword of the day is surrender. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm picking up of where you guys are currently at, because it doesn't seem like there's anything really going wrong with your life. It's just, and again, it's you're in a better place than what I described earlier. Like maybe that what I was describing earlier was like coming through as like a week ago or two. But yeah, there still feels like there's something there. Like maybe you guys are just tired. Maybe it's a little bit of burnout. There's some kind of dissatisfaction going on here. Okay, and then what you guys have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June. So I'm seeing you guys putting in a lot of effort and having to do a lot of, for lack of a better term, dirty work, okay? Or like handiwork. Maybe handiwork is better, right? Because it's not like dirty work, but it feels like you are rolling up your sleeves and you got to really get in there to get this work done, and it's tiring, and there's so much that needs to be done, and you guys are just tired. I mean, look at this Seven of Swords. Usually Seven of Swords has, I don't think I've ever really interpreted a Seven of Swords like this before, but this person is exhausted, okay? They don't look like they're betraying anyone. They look like they're working a double shift, or they're picking up any shifts that they can cover, and they're carrying these swords almost like as if they were picking up golf balls to take them back or whatever, you know, or tennis balls or whatever. It looks like they're like picking up those swords to take them back to where people can just grab the swords again. And they're like tired, you know, they're like, I don't know how long. It's not even, I don't know how long I can keep doing this, but it's just like, how long should I keep going on like this? You know, but at the same time, it's like this person doesn't want to ask that too. It's conflicting, right? It's like that spiritual war we were talking about, that spiritual conflict between wanting to have human feelings and thoughts and honoring them, and then also coming from that spiritual perspective and knowledge and wisdom that you've acquired. So I feel like there's an opportunity to leave this behind. I feel like you guys are coming into a place where you can cool it a little bit more, okay? Because this seems like a lot of work, a lot of doing it on your own, and the only kind of relief that we're getting here is like fantasizing or imagining the future, or kind of like a daydreaming kind of thing, okay? Or like envisioning what it's going to give you as a result. That's the thing that's kind of pushing you through. But I'm feeling like you guys are coming out of that place, okay? You're coming out of this extremely hard effort. I hope it makes sense, you guys. It feels like you guys were really pushing yourselves to get something done because you wanted to get it done as quickly as possible. But because you've been doing it like that, it's just, you're coming to a place where maybe not everything is completed or done, but you're getting ready to start, like it's okay for you to take more rest. I don't know. It's coming into a little bit more balance, if that makes sense. Then we've got the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the King of Wands. Ooh, you guys got two kings. Interesting. And then we've also got, and this is for your material world focus for the month of July. And then we've got Archangel Arakiel with Awakening. Ooh, we were just talking about that. Awakening, Knowledge, and Divination. Yeah. Then we've got Archangel Ramiel with Divine Love. How sweet. How kind is this? How beautiful. And you know what's interesting? At the bottom of the deck here, we have Archangel Lamiel with Light of Union, and Archangel Sarakiel with Heart Soul Messenger, which I think is fascinating. We also have Universal Energy, Truth, Spiritual Awareness. And you know what's interesting, you guys? I'm going to reveal these after. These are final messages. A lot of these cards are kind of similar. Like, I don't know, one or two of them came out before. Ooh, and then we have Possibility. Okay. Raise your standards. Elevate your expectations. You have unlimited potential. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Oh, my mind was cleared again. Okay. All right. First, let's see what you guys have got going on materially for July. Okay. Yeah, I feel like things are getting more, I don't want to say lighter, but it feels a little bit like that. Like things are getting a little less intense. It seems like in July, you're getting a hold of something a little more. Like, for example, if what we were talking about earlier in the reading was like, maybe you're starting your own business, okay? And there was so much like paperwork that you had to do that was tedious and annoying and difficult, and like there's no way around it. It had to get done and it was exhausting, you know. But now you've gotten past most of that paperwork, and so you're able to start doing the things that, you know, like managing your business or whatever. So it kind of feels like that. That's the type of transition it feels like. Like you guys are getting more of a grasp of what needs to get done. And honestly, with this 10 of Swords, it looks like you guys are exhausted. Okay, so I feel like maybe for the beginning portion of July, you guys could be sleeping a lot more. And even though now you've become more productive in July, right? Like you're getting the fruition, the fruitfulness of the kind of efforts that you were putting in earlier, you're still going to be tired. It's like your body is finally like, okay, we're getting some kind of progress. Now we can rest, you know? So honor yourself in that regard, okay, you guys? Then we've also got friendships here. I feel like you guys are coming into new kinds of connections with your friends, and there is an emphasis on you guys going out and having some fun, okay? Having fun is good for the soul. It's good for the spirit, and it's a good break and relaxation technique too, okay, you guys? So it's okay to have fun. It's important to have fun, and think of resting and having fun as part of your goals, okay? Because it looks like the universe, oh, you know what's funny? We were talking about that spiritual war, right? I was just gonna say, it looks like the universe, or like that tug of war, is trying to help you guys get back into balance in your life. Balancing work, career, like, I'm sorry, that's the same thing. Balancing work, personal life, fun, friends, you know, love life, all that stuff. Though I'm not seeing too much activity for singles in their love life, okay? It feels more like fun. I'm not seeing super extreme romance unless you guys are already in a connection with somebody, but it doesn't feel like, oh my goodness, the romance is just amazing. It doesn't feel like that for the people who are already in a connection. It just feels like fun, a good release, a good relief. You guys need some fun. It's okay to have fun, okay? So I don't think you guys are going to be going out all the time, but if you can make some time in this month, a few times at least, to go out and get some fun in, okay? And do something that is not completely related to work, all right, you guys? Because whatever it is, whether it's work, whether it's like a personal project or something, it's like you guys have taken on this workaholic mentality, or tendency, or tenacity. I don't even know what kind of word to use to describe it. But though it's good and it's exciting that you guys are so like driven for this, you know, it's good to also get that break and that rest. So again, it's like everything is talking about balance for you guys. You know, this is balancing your life, which is also like balancing that like factor for being human and being spiritual, right? Being human and then being productive, like having a personal life, being productive, you know? So that's what I'm seeing for the material world. And then for what divine would like you to focus on healing, I think there's an emphasis on bringing back self-compassion for you guys, okay? There seems to be an emphasis on that for me, at least that I'm coming across now. Self-compassion, because you just caught a little, it's like almost as if, you know, you're like, okay, once I get this done, I will eat. Like you're really hungry, but you're like, once I get this done, I'm gonna eat. But it's like food shouldn't have to be a reward. Basic needs shouldn't have to be a reward for when you accomplish the things you're trying to get done, okay? So that's where the self-compassion comes in. If you have to use the bathroom, go use the bathroom. Don't wait until you finish the next 3 questions, you know? Go use the bathroom. Fulfill your human needs, okay? That's how you're going to get that balance as well. So there's a little emphasis here of that self-kindness and compassion. Again, I'm getting this emphasis on surrender. And yeah, I just heard like surrender to the will of God, right? So it seems like there's just, because as you guys were trying to get everything done, you guys slipped into a little bit of having more control of everything, right? So now to get that balance in, kind of let go, you guys. Just let go, surrender. Even with the sleep, right? It's kind of like give in to the sleep, give in to the rest, give in to this hibernation that your body is asking for and craving, okay? Let's see what else I can get for what divine would like you to focus on healing. Also, it kind of feels like they're asking you to have a heart-to-heart with yourself, you know? It's like, be honest with yourself. Is this making you tired? Are you doing this even, because I feel like you guys know most of the time. You catch yourself, you know, you're good at observing yourselves. You know if you're pushing yourself to the limit. So it's like, be honest. Are you pushing yourself to the limit just because you're trying to get something done because it's annoying you to see it be not complete yet? If you're doing that, that's not really fair to yourself, is it? You wouldn't treat a child like that, would you? You know, you wouldn't want to do that to your inner child, to be like, you have to earn for me to meet your needs, correct? So I think there's a little bit of that reminding happening. And as far as possibility, I feel like you guys are creating such incredible things in your life right now. Like we were talking about earlier with the blessings just coming in, and just know more blessings are coming, okay? You taking a rest and you taking a break is not going to keep your blessings from coming. Sometimes that rest and that break actually gives us the little wiggle room with surrender that helps the universe bring in those things quicker, okay? And then we've got the 5th house. And then Aquila with spirit. Oh, didn't I say I saw spirit earlier and spirit ended up coming out? That's so funny. And then Fornax with anger. Yeah, wow. Okay, give me one sec, guys. I need a sip of water. Okay. I think it's so interesting how you guys have lots of blues and purples going on here. But also, this is so funny. Can you see these cards? I just want to be sure you see them. Okay, cool. We were just talking about that war, right? Between the spiritual aspect and then kind of like having this frustration because of not being able to have human moments, right? So it just, this is incredibly funny to me because I feel like it goes perfectly here. This is exactly what we were talking about. Oh, and there's my headache again. So yeah, I feel like I'm getting it right on the nail. That's what it feels like for this group, like the majority of this group. And I feel like the solution they're giving us here with the 5th house is fun. Okay, the 5th house is ruled by Leo. It is It is romantic dates, going out, socializing, having fun, and inner child stuff too, okay? So go out, you guys. Have fun. Give yourself a moment, okay? A break every once in a while. Oh, goodness. What a stretch. Oh, my. Yeah, you guys need to relax. All right, you guys, I'm going to also roll the dice as the final message for you guys, too. So give me a moment. Okay, we've got the number 8, Virgo, 8 again, and Neptune. Interesting. Virgo and Neptune. That's like Virgo and Pisces, which are opposites. Oh, that makes complete sense, because you know what? 8s become infinities, but they also become 2 circles, right? Everything is talking about balance here. Balance between spirituality and practicality, right? Because Virgo is an earth sign. Neptune is very spiritual. It's very spiritual, and it does have ties with music too, which I think is interesting, okay? But then we've also got Virgo, which is very practical and oriented with, it's like method oriented. And what I mean by that, it's like methodical process, getting things done, organization, structure. Like most earth signs have some kind of structure, but I'm getting like ergo, like control, to be honest. Yes, there's like a control aspect, like getting things done, like, and Virgo would do that. Virgo energy would do that. Like, I will give myself a reward, you know, Virgo, and I feel like Capricorn could do that too. But yeah, so I feel like this is incredible how we keep getting these confirmations of the same thing, this kind of balance from within. So the only way to balance it within is to give yourself, is to take the actual steps and give yourself a break, you guys. If things seem too hectic, it's because they are. It's okay if you're like, but I only did one thing today. I was doing so good, and today I only did one thing and I'm so tired. It's like, yeah. I'll give you an example, right? When I first started driving, it was really scary for me, and I couldn't drive for, like, when I was practicing for the first time, like doing it behind a wheel, like, you know, I got so tired after just driving for like 30 minutes, you know. I was so tired. I felt drained. In the moment I wasn't tired. In the moment I was scared, and I had this adrenaline going through me. But the moment I was done, I was so tired. I would come home and just sleep, you know. And I was like, I only drove for 30 minutes. And it's like, yeah, but the adrenaline that I was feeling, it was like that fight or flight instinct. It brought out a little bit, I guess, you know, because of the adrenaline. And you don't feel that you're tired when you've got this adrenaline pumping. But the moment you're in a safe space, it's like it hits you. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. So it kind of feels like that, you know? That's why if you guys find yourselves now not being able to get too many things done before getting too tired, it's because you were handling so many things so tense. You were so tense and you were holding it for so long, getting through these things, pushing yourself, that now that you have a moment to kind of breathe, your body is like, we're not done resting, and it's going to be trying to get that rest in anywhere it can, okay? So try to be gentle for yourself and to respect that process for you guys, okay? All right, group 3, that was your reading. I think you guys are the shortest group so far. The other groups were basically like an hour. But yeah, you guys were quick and simple and to the point. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope that it was helpful. If you did enjoy, if it was helpful, I would appreciate if you guys gave this video a thumbs up. And if you like watching my content, and if you would like to be up to date on when I post new things, you could also possibly subscribe to this channel if you would like, so that you can stay up to date and you can help support the channel as well in that way. Also, I would appreciate if you guys left a comment down below and letting me know, like, what you guys were working on, you know. And are you guys okay? Are you okay, group 3? Like, are you still feeling that frustration? Or has it really gone a little bit easier now? You know, has it boiled down a little bit? How are you guys doing? I'd like to hear how you guys are, group 3, okay? And also, if you guys are interested in a personal private reading or a custom crystal bracelet or a custom affirmation song, you can reach out to me through either the contacts page on my website or through my email, which are all in the description box below. And I'm trying to be more active on Instagram, so if you guys would like to follow me there, it is also in the description box below. It's just my handle is NutAeum. And yeah, okay. Group 3, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm sending you guys lots of love, okay? Lots of light. Ooh, sorry, I had a crumb on my finger, but lots of light to you guys. And I'll see you guys next time, okay? Bye, group 3. Hey, group 4, welcome to your reading. This is your group if you chose the 4th card. We're not going to reveal your card just yet, you guys. We're going to do that during your reading. I'm also curious to know what group or what your card is actually, because there was a point where it literally flipped on the table, not while I was shuffling, like later on. I took a little break and I was coming back, and the card literally jumped, okay? I put something on the side where the card was sitting, and somehow it made the card jump. And I caught the card, and I was able to still keep it in a way that I did not see it, okay? It's been face down the whole time. I was like, whoa, this is skill. I was very proud of myself. But that's why I'm extra excited to see what your card is going to be. Sorry, guys. I choked on my saliva. Give me a moment. Okay, before we begin or go any further, I'm gonna ring the singing bowl for you guys really quickly. Nice ring for you guys. Okay, we're gonna start off the reading with a little bit of a seashell reading, okay, mini seashell reading. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with how this kind of reading works, if it's your first time watching one of my monthly healing videos, or if it's your first time watching any of my videos, okay? Well, for this particular reading, it's going to be a couple of different sections. The first one is going to be the top as the energy check to see if this is your reading or not. And then the bottom is going to be what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the current month, so in June. Okay, and then the second section, we're going to look at your material world focus for the month of July and what Divine would like you to focus on healing in the month of July. And then we'll look at final messages as well. All right, you guys, I did finish shuffling your cards. Something I wanted to let you guys know, I'll set your cards over here for now, that I noticed while I was shuffling, which I thought was very interesting. First of all, for your chakra cards, you guys actually got Limitless at the bottom here, which I think is incredible after I saw all of the tarot cards that I kept breaking the deck and I kept seeing them, right? So the first thing I saw was the High Priestess, and funnily enough, it ended up being the top facing card for you guys too. So it was the High Priestess, then the Hierophant, which is the counterpart to the High Priestess. Then it was the Six of Wands, which is the card of victory. Then it was the Empress, which is fertility, prosperity, and abundance, okay? Fruitfulness. It was incredible. And then we also had this Limitless card, which I thought, of course. And underneath it, we have Presence. And it's like with all of those major arcana cards, no wonder you would have an incredible presence. So just letting you guys know about that. All right, but yes, without further ado, let's get started with your reading. With the seashells, I'm going to be shuffling or ruffling, I don't know the term, through them and picking out 4. I'm not going to be looking while I'm doing it, but I do want to give a warning to headphone users that it could get a little noisy, you guys, so you've been warned, okay? Okay. Alrighty. And just so you guys know, when I pick out the shells, I do it very, like I pick a shell that tingles my finger, okay? So I also was wondering if the shell would come out for you guys, and it did, so I think that's great. So let me show you guys the shells really quickly. Here's one. Here's another one. Okay, and then the other two. Here are the other two. Okay, guys. All right, so give me a second. So with this shell off the bat, I mean, I think it's incredible that this one became the first one that came out. I literally was wondering if you guys are going to get this shell, and you did get it. This shell is talking about limitless potential. I mean, look at this. You guys got limitless here, and here we are talking about limitless. You even have the Wheel of Fortune, right? Which is like, you don't even know what kind of power you guys can have. And you have Imagine here. Right? It's like, it's down to your, what you guys can accomplish is down to your imagination. And we even have the 12th house, which is full of mystery, right? It is psychic and mysterious. You guys even have elemental magic here. Okay, like there's so much incredible mystery about you. And it's like, I don't even think you guys understand the potential of your strengths and your power. Okay, you guys have this incredible limitless ability to like cultivate this inner wisdom and magic and power and all of these incredible special things about you. Okay, I feel like you guys also have kind of shaman-like qualities. I think a lot of people turn to you guys for advice. You guys are a vibrant, big and bright and bold light, and people cannot get enough of you, okay? And people keep coming to you because they feel like you can help change their lives, like you can help transform their souls, okay? I also feel like you guys have this presence that can kind of put people to sleep. Okay, and it's not in a bad way. It's actually in a really incredibly powerful way. You guys have a very calming quality about you, and I think that's why people feel very safe around you. They feel safe to talk about their deepest insecurities and flaws and faults, and they can just give you all of their secrets. Okay, you guys give this vibe of safety and security to people, and I mean, it makes sense that like people feel like you're gonna help transform them. Right? And you do, you help a lot of people transcend and kind of shift their mentality and mindset. In order for them to be able to do that, they have to feel like they can trust you, right? Because no one is going to change when they feel like they're being pushed against, right? Or forced into it. So they must feel safe and secure enough around you to actually get to that place. And the fact that they fall asleep next to you also indicates that they feel safe and secure around you too, okay? I don't mean that they necessarily fall asleep right on top of you or next to you, but it's kind of like your presence is so soothing and calming, and it's healing. And so many people are wound up and stressed nowadays. So being around you is kind of like, it's like your essence is saying, it's okay for you to take rest. It's okay for you to quiet down. There's no need to be so on edge. And because they've been so tense for so long, they kind of unwind and get like calm and peaceful and relaxed and want to go to sleep, okay? You guys are giving me very much like mermaid vibes. So I think it's interesting that we have elemental magic and all of this stuff, okay? I'm sensing a connection to the ocean for you guys as well. And I feel like people kind of want to idolize you. I don't know what it is, but there's, I mean, I guess I do know, right? You guys have an incredible soul and presence and essence. But people kind of see you and they go, oh my goodness, look at that being, you know, like they kind of put you on a pedestal, I think. I'm wondering if you guys notice it or not, but people do kind of idolize you. I think people even consider you guys kind of perfect. Even your faults and stuff don't, like you may say, oh my goodness, I've got pimples coming up and whatever. And people are like, oh, I didn't even notice it until you said it, you know? And it could have been like right on your nose, but they wouldn't have seen it. Like, because you guys have such a glow about you that people don't see your faults. Like, they don't see your flaws unless you guys tell them that they're there, you know? Like, that's how bright your light is. It's so bright that your flaws are kind of erased. Like, people can't see them. Only you can see them because you know. All right, you guys, let's get into your cards now. And that was a cute little message. Very nice. Okay. All right, so let's see if we can break these up without... Okay, there we go. Alrighty. Wow, of course, the world did show up at some point too. I did peek it in one of the decks. So we've got the world. I mean, this is exactly what I was just talking about. The 3 of Cups, the 5 of Swords, and Judgment. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of funny. I'll talk about... Okay. The 10 of Pentacles. Y'all, what the actual heck? The 7 of Swords has come up in every single group. And it has meant different things too, which I think is fascinating. It has, so far, none of the 7 of Swords cards that came up had a meaning of what the stereotypical standard 7 of Swords card means, okay? We have the 5 of Wands and the Moon. Okay. So what you guys are currently experiencing. I feel like you guys are currently experiencing people coming to you, maybe even giving you some kind of praise, saying you're incredible, you're amazing, you're kind, you know, like even getting people who you would consider having those qualities or traits coming to you and saying all these things, and you're just like, holy cow, like you've been doing this longer than me, but you're saying this, thank you so much, you know. I do also feel like yeah, like you guys are just getting a lot of attention right now. I think miracles and blessings are kind of coming into your life or happening around you too. I feel like people want to celebrate you. Like if anybody ever talks about you guys, they only ever say good things, you know. They're just like, oh my gosh, group 4, oh, we love group 4. Group 4 is amazing. Group 4 is so cool. Group 4 is always there whenever you need them. Group 4 is this, group 4 is... It's like all these kind things, all these wonderful, sweet things that you could possibly, that you could have ever wished for somebody to go on and say about you. It's like people are saying that about you guys, you know. I also feel like some people could even be a kind of, and it's very weird, you know, because it's like, why? But they're kind of possessive of you. Like they're like, group 4 is my friend, you know. And it's like, you know, nobody owns you, no matter how close they think they are to you or not. So yeah, sorry guys, I don't know why, just after I started saying that I got a little bit of a gas. So maybe this is something that you guys have also noticed and it's kind of triggering for you guys, because you're like, love you, but like you don't own me, you know. Like why do you keep saying that? Why do you keep comparing? And why do you keep saying that, you know? Stop. We're not the same person. And I can have any kind of friends that I want, you know. So I feel like there's a little bit of kind of a conflict here in regards to that, or like an irritation, or like people are keeping track or keeping score of you too, you know. So again, it's because you're just kind of in the public eye. So, but good on you guys for being in the public eye. It's taken you some time to actually shine like this. So you guys are doing it. Good job. Okay. Yeah, it's like people also feel like God has smiled upon you, you know, like divine has blessed you. And even in this Judgment card, it's like you're the chosen one, you know, like Archangel Gabriel is like all of them are blonde, but she sticks out the most with the same kind of level of blonde as this angel, you know, and the angel is pouring into her hand. So I feel like people kind of look at you as a messenger of God or something. Like there's something about the way that you guys talk or speak, or like your presence, everything about you kind of gets people in this state where you kind of gain followers, you know. You guys gain followers. It's funny. You're kind of like influencers yourself, whether you want to be or not, whether you realize it or not, whether you're actually doing it or not. Yeah, but that's where I'm seeing you guys are currently at. And then as far as sorry guys, as far as what you have the opportunity to leave behind in the month of June. So in the month of June, okay, it kind of feels like there is a little bit of loneliness that was going on here too. You know, when people isolate somebody and they put them on a pedestal, this person is being put on a pedestal alone. So it kind of feels like there was a little bit, and it doesn't feel like you guys were overcome with loneliness or something. I think it just, there's this like, it's not even wishing for a normal life maybe, but kind of wanting what some people have already, you know? Kind of like, say for example, okay, this is silly, okay, and it's a little made up, it's just to give you an example, but say you guys were Harry Potter or whatever, okay? And I mean, don't follow the actual story, but I think most people know Harry Potter was considered the chosen one, he was special, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So you guys are Harry Potter. And everybody in your class is kind of getting into relationships, having fun with friends, but like they view you as different. They single you out. You always have to have this. Well, okay, maybe Harry Potter is not a good example. Let's say Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender. I think that's better. Okay, so everyone is kind of looking to this kid as an example, as like a beacon of light. You must guide us. You know, you are giving the wisdom. You are the avatar. Okay, you're the special person. You're the chosen person. Okay, that's gonna save us or whatever. But it's like all the other 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds are kind of getting these crushes and having fun. And like, though Aang gets his duty and he understands his responsibilities and whatnot, he also wants to just get into a relationship or have fun and stuff, you know? And it's not that he takes his duties for granted and he's grateful that he can have such a big mission, but sometimes he gets a little tired, or he wants, not even that it's like he's asking for a break, but he just wants to be able to get some of the things that, like, just for lack of a better word, like regular or average or normal people have, kind of. So it kind of feels like that. Like, you guys were going on doing these tasks, doing these things, like passing your exams, whether it's actual exams or like spiritual tests, okay? And it's like you guys have done a lot of work and you're kind of tired of being on your own. That's not to say that you guys don't have friends, or, I mean, even with friends, it's like there's something here about wanting somebody to do it with, somebody to kind of coexist with and kind of navigate through life with. And because you guys are like, I get that I've got to do it on my own, you know, but I would like a companion. You know what I mean? Because you're here connecting with nature and everything, and you're just like, I would like a companion. And there is a companion. It's just, you're like, I know there's going to be a companion, but when are they coming along? You know, I feel like there was a little bit of that. So I feel like you guys can start kind of easing up on feeling that, like, that responsibility of duty. Or like what people expect of you, or how you want to show up. Not even just their expectations, but how you want to show up to the world and for the world, okay? I feel like there's going to be a little bit of relief in regards to that for you guys. All right, let's look at the other cards. Oh, there it is. Oh my goodness, you guys are getting so many queen things coming up too. So it's funny, the Empress came up because I told you in the other deck the Empress came up. So here we've got the Empress again. Okay, so it actually came out. And then while I was shuffling, I saw the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Wands. Okay, look at this. And then we have the Fool. Okay. Oh my goodness, there it is, the Queen of Pentacles. I saw these two cards while I was shuffling, so it's funny that they came out. And we've got Archangel Ramiel with Divine Love. Very beautiful. We also have the Orange Spectrum. Okay, cool. Cool beans. We have Self-Esteem. Love. Spiritual Awareness. We'll get into these final messages after. And then your Unicorn card is Flow. Interesting. Look how beautiful. Oh, didn't I say you guys have a connection to the ocean? Look at this unicorn. It looks like they're in the ocean, like unicorn ocean spirits or something. You see that? Find an easier path forwards. Surrender the outcome. Release your expectations. Okay, something that I want to point out. Where's this? Okay, this is kind of interesting to me, but honestly, when I saw this as being you guys, like talking to nature, connecting with nature, wanting somebody else, and I was like, well, there's somebody here, you know, they're just not exactly there yet, but they're here. But this one was kind of weird because for a moment it looked like this dog had red eyes. And I was like, that's kind of weird, okay? And then it's the same thing here. It's like, this is you guys, and this is not exactly here yet, but for a moment it kind of looked a little menacing to me, and it kind of got me a little, like, it brought up a little fear, and it looked like it has red eyes. It doesn't, the eyes are closed, but it looks like it has red eyes. So it's kind of weird. I don't think you guys have anything to worry about. It's not, you know, I just, I'm gonna possibly pull extra cards for you guys to see what that's about. But first, let's get into your material world focus. Okay. You know, it's so funny. One of the other groups actually had the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. That is so funny, actually. Oh my goodness. And you know, though it didn't come up in the reading, that group, while I was shuffling, I kept seeing the Emperor card in 2 different decks. I kept seeing the Emperor card. But I didn't take it out. And then they got the King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. It was group 3, I think. So I think it's funny because maybe, you know what? Maybe in this reading, there's more cross-watching than not. So maybe you guys are one of these groups and then you're cross-watching for somebody else who is the other group. So that's kind of funny because in group 3, I also mentioned only for those that felt called to group 4, they should probably watch group 4. Like, there could be something there. So I guess I would say the same thing to you guys. If you guys wanted to cross-watch, or you also felt called for whatever reason to group 3, but it feels more like a cross-watch, or like one is one person, another's another, you could watch that. But I think it's interesting because that group, even though I never took it out, got the Emperor card a couple of times, and then we had the King of Wands and the King of Pentacles. So you guys have the queens of that. And the more feminine, right, energy present here with the Empress. So I think that's very funny. Cool. Okay. Your material world focus in the month of July. Honestly, I'm kind of seeing you guys being like, oh, sorry. I needed to release something. Wow. Okay. I'm seeing you guys being, okay, if this is like a girl, it's like a girl boss. You know, if it's a guy with a feminine energy, it's still, you're being like a boss. You know, like I'm seeing you guys being like a boss. There's this boss energy. People are continuing to look to you. I'm seeing you guys still thriving. Maybe there's a little bit less of the conflict that has to do with it. People are still coming to you guys for advice. I'm also seeing, like, you guys are just powerful. You guys are thriving. Like, it really looks like externally you guys are thriving. In the material world, you guys are thriving, okay? You are creating this beautiful bountifulness. I feel like people are going to be extremely attracted to you, okay? People might even say that you guys are sexy. I'm seeing this pomegranate, and it's making me think of, like, temptation, okay? And then, you know, you do have the Queen of Wands here with all that fiery energy, and because you guys are also so kind and nurturing, you know, and you give people all this free advice and you help people constantly, it's like, how can people not be drawn to you? You know, it's like you guys are the full package. Like, I think people would see you and be like, oh my goodness, what a person, you know, like, what a woman, what a man. Like, it's just like, wow, you know. I'm also getting that, yeah, I feel like you guys are going to be dropping jaws wherever you go, you know, like jaws are going to be dropping around you. Like, people are going to be just like in awe, like gasping, like, oh my goodness, who is this person? It's like you guys are coming in touch with that. It's like you're taking control of your spiritual energy, your sexual energy, and like your individuality, and you guys are just uninhibitedly being yourselves. And you guys are just completely like a miracle. Like, people look at you as a miracle. You guys are shining. It's incredible. Okay, guys. I'm also seeing like you guys could have been, now that you guys are in this state, it's like maybe before, like a month or so ago, you guys were closing out a chapter to get into this state. So like that chapter is gone. You guys are in your new beginning. Okay. It's not you guys finishing something so you can get into the new beginning. It's like, no, you guys have finished it. You guys are in your new beginning. Okay, you guys. And then what the universe wants you to focus on: healing. So actually this is touching on the Empress energy too. With the orange spectrum, it's making me think of what I was just mentioning with the sexual energy. You guys are taking charge of your sexual energy. So I feel like you guys are clearing out your sacral chakra, and you're getting more creative, and you're getting more, I don't know, like I'm just getting more sensual energy around you guys. You know, like you guys really are, you do feel like you have more feminine energy. Okay. So this isn't gender specific. It's just energy. So you guys have more of a gentle, more feminine energy. Okay. But there is an incredible empowerment behind it. You guys are such a bright light, and you guys are taking charge of your sexual energy. It's like you guys are getting rid of guilt or shame associated with it. And that's what they want you to continue to do. They want you to continue to kind of take power, take control back of your sexual energy, because maybe before it was kind of stuck in the dark. So you had to go into the dark and pull it out. Okay. I talked about that in another group too. It wasn't about sexual energy, but it was like, it's like maybe before it was closed off because of some kind of trauma. And so now that you guys have decided to open it up again and kind of take control back of it, right? It's like it opened up just where it closed off, in that hurt place, in that dark place. But now you're diving into those deep waters where it's dark, and you're diving in to get it out, to pull it out of there. So now it's going to be in the light with you. You're taking back control. You're taking back the power. Okay. So that's what it feels like with the sacral chakra energy and this sensuality. Okay. I also feel like you guys, your heart chakra is active, all right? Your heart chakra is super active. And I feel like you guys are acting out of you're not even coming from a place of your heart chakra anymore. You're coming from a place of your higher heart chakra, okay? It's right above the heart chakra. And it is considered like divine love, like Christ love, you know, like that sacred, unconditional love. That holy kind of unconditional love. And I feel like that's where you guys are coming from now. You guys are just so incredible. Like, you're so radiant. I don't know how to say it enough, to be completely honest with you guys. I feel like you guys have gotten better at acknowledging, acknowledging this about yourself, right? This, this like spiritual energy and whatnot, and your strength and your power, and how sensual you are, and how like sexy you guys are, and how sexually beautiful you are, and all of this stuff, and how incredible your presence is, and how people can actually see you. I feel like you guys have already gotten better at seeing that, but I think there's still a little bit of room for improvement, and I think you guys are already kind of in the process of working on it, to be completely honest, of seeing yourself more in that light. Okay. But again, it's just happening naturally. I don't think it's something you guys have to actively work on, because you're already doing it naturally. It's just kind of part of this process at this point. You guys are trying to see, like, continue to see your worth. Okay. You got love again. Yeah. So there's so much emphasis on how much you guys just radiate unconditional love. It's incredible. Like, people look at you and they see love. People look at you and they say, like, they see and they feel like as if this is the first encounter they've ever had with the concept of unconditional love. You know, like, they have heard of unconditional love, but maybe they didn't believe in it, but they see you guys and they get to be in your presence and they feel unconditional love. I think that you guys could be at risk of having lots of people getting infatuated with you. Okay. I say infatuated because it's a combination. I think you're going to get people who kind of fall in love with you too, to be honest with you. But it does seem more like an infatuation. And the reason I say that is because they're so, like, amazed at this glorious being that is you, that it just kind of overcomes them a little bit. And if they were to like regularize being around you, maybe they could kind of, and take a break to kind of come back into their own energy and stuff. They'll realize like, oh, I have incredible love for group 4 that is unconditional because I can feel that from them, but I'm not in love with them, you know. But I think some people could be misplacing that and thinking that it is love when it's actually just infatuation. That being said, it's not to say that there aren't people that actually genuinely love you. They do. I'm just saying, like, some people that may seem a little pushy or a little intense or make you kind of uncomfortable with their feelings or emotions or the way that they kind of ogle you or stare you down. It's infatuation. It's not unconditional love for most of them. Okay. What else? Let me see if I'm getting anything else here really quickly, you guys. Spiritual awareness. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, the spiritual awareness for me is kind of going hand in hand with the self-esteem. It's kind of like that acknowledgement of yourself, okay? And with flow, I feel like you guys are already kind of in that flow state. You've already, again, it's like these things that you've got to work on. It's like you don't even have to work on it. You're already kind of naturally getting into that process. So I feel like for you guys, that flow state is something you guys are already getting yourself into. It's not something that you needed to hear me say for you to actively now try working on it. You guys are just kind of following guidance already, okay? And we're going to take a look at what is going on here, because this is making me think of something and I want to check, okay? But first, let's look at what we've got. Oh my goodness, look at this. We have the solar eclipse, Hydra with death, Evolve with Capricorn, and I guess you guys got an extra card. You have Distract with Cancer. Yeah, it's funny, right? Because you have Distract. So I think it's funny because people are going to get distracted by you. With this whole like death and evolve, I mean, look at that. That actually goes perfectly together. This is literally death and transformation. It's like a rebirth. You're putting an end to an old cycle and coming into this new beginning. You guys are already in that new beginning. This is just a reminder that that old part, that old self is gone, okay? It's in the past. It's done. You guys have gone past this. So I think if you guys ever kind of feel a little lonely or uncomfortable or kind of feel weird in your body, or like something doesn't feel like you're everything is good, and it's not that you're unhappy, but you're kind of like, I don't know, it kind of feels off or weird or uncomfortable or like you're an observer in your life, kind of. It's just because you guys have evolved, and so you're getting used to being in this different frequency, in this different state of being, okay? So you're kind of getting adjusted into a new level, a new vibration. It feels uncomfortable because it is, because it's new in this incarnation. So yeah, there's a little bit of a heads up in regards to that for you guys too, okay? With this solar eclipse, I think that's hilarious because we've got distraction and then we literally have the moon blocking the sun, okay? Yeah, this is kind of making me think of those infatuations that we were talking about by other people. So don't get distracted or caught up in how other people are kind of ogling you or how they're acting around you and stuff, you know? I think maybe it can sometimes get a little frustrating, or don't let it take too much of your mental space. You know, it's how people react to you is their thing. Don't let it affect your peace and how you guys go about your day, you know? Don't let it get to your head too much either. Just kind of let it go and let it be and keep going in your path. Okay, guys? I want to pull additional cards for this. So I'm going to pull additional cards. What deck should I use? What deck should I use? I'm going to use you guys because you were the ones who mentioned it first. Okay. What's with... What is with this guy? Okay, kind of had a feeling, but let's keep going. That is hilarious. Okay. I'm going to show you the cards, don't worry. Oh my goodness, what the actual heck? Y'all, okay, you guys. Oh my goodness, what the actual heck? You guys, this is hilarious because I was getting this, I got that, right? Because remember how I said it myself, right? In the moon card, like those dogs, it's like you guys are waiting for somebody, but there's something in the way. I don't know, they're going to get to you. I don't know. But something kind of felt weird because it looked like their eyes were red initially. And then this kind of is also giving me that, like, you guys are doing it on your own, you're kind of glowing, you're whatever. But this kind of initially gave me the, like, that's kind of creepy. But it also, when I kept looking at it, it kind of felt like a partner or somebody coming through. That same energy as that dog, okay? That other dog. But why did it have red eyes? That's the part I was just like, that's why I said don't worry, it doesn't feel like danger or anything. But why is it coming through like that? Why did it come through with red eyes at first, initially? I don't get it, you know? Then we have the Sun card at the bottom of the deck, and I just split the deck, and we've got the 10 of Pentacles, okay? Y'all, let's talk about it. The first card that came out, the Hierophant, okay? Yes, this is a marriage card too, BT dubs, but the Hierophant came out, which I thought that was kind of funny. And then after the Hierophant, we got Justice. And I thought, oh my goodness, talk about divine intervention plus divine intervention. I thought that was even funnier. And then we got the Lovers. You guys, you got all major arcana cards to the point where even the top facing card was the Sun, another major arcana card. Okay, but you got the Lovers, okay? So, and you know what's so funny? Actually, when I was shuffling your card, like right before I started your reading, I got a song caught in my head, but I kind of forgot about it until just now, until I looked at those cards again. And it's like, it's always going to be you. Oh, who is that song by? I don't know if I'll be able to look it up. Give me 1 sec. You guys can look up the lyrics. Let me find the song though. Always gonna be you. Let me see. Yeah, it's Always Gonna Be You by Kenny Chesney. Let me see if I can, don't want to play it because I don't know what the copyright is. But let me see if I can get some of the lyrics here. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. You know what else is interesting? I just got that as I was reading the lyrics. Both of these kind of scenarios with that partner have to do with water. I mean, look, you've got this actual energy in the ocean, and the moon card, there was water there too, okay? But I'll read you guys the words. It says, I could jump on some old highway, run 1,000 miles or more, which I think is ironic, right? Because we got horses here, or unicorns. Unlock some hidden mystery behind a distant door. I could sail the 7 oceans till I crawl up on some long forgotten shore. So again, there's like that sea, ocean, water kind of influence. Oh, and didn't I say that about you guys too? Oh my goodness, I did in the beginning, didn't I? I said, I think that was this group. I think I said that you guys have a connection to the ocean. You guys, so does this person. This person also has a connection to the ocean. The soul connection that you guys have from the ocean, they do too. It's like if you came from the ocean, so did they come from the ocean. Okay, let's see what else. But it's always going to be you, always going to be you I'm looking for. I could climb 100 mountains, leave a hard old world behind, wander out across some prairie. Prairie, isn't that where horses go? I don't know. I think so. Maybe I'm not thinking of the right word. Like a man out of his mind, I could walk and stare into the sun. Let it all just burn me deaf and blind. Oh gosh, intense. But it's always going to be you, always going to be you I'm trying to find. Where does a man go for redemption? Where does he take a broken heart? Shouldn't there be some small exemption if he does all that it takes to admit to his mistakes till the truth batters and breaks his world apart? I could ask for my forgiveness from the heavens high above, tell myself my prayers are going to somehow be enough. Then lay down in some angel's bed, convinced I found the one I'm dreaming of, but it's always going to be you, always going to be you that I love. And then it goes off. Yeah, it kind of repeats a little bit. Basically, that's kind of the gist. I think that's interesting because, to be completely honest, though it's a sweet message, like it's always going to be you that I love, it's kind of a sad song if you think about it, because this person is talking about trying to move on and getting, and also like the fact that I got initially scared, or not scared, scared isn't the word, but I felt cautious, or like I had to get my guard up next to like this kind of energy. I think, I mean, clearly, okay, with all the major arcana cards, the universe and divine God has like placed this person into your path, okay? Into each other's paths. Clearly, okay? You guys are kind of, literally, look at this. You guys are being brought together. Look at the angel's arms, bringing them together, okay? Even here, actually, you know what? It's like this female energy here is glowing and growing, you know. There's this snake, serpent, sensual, sexual energy with like the fruit and all this stuff. And like this female energy is good, like she's prosperous. But this male energy, he's kind of like, she's looking up with faith, but this male energy, this masculine energy is looking down, as if like to the floor. And they've got like orange leaves, you know, kind of like some kind of transformation. There's kind of some kind of sadness here. Maybe that's another reason why I was kind of getting this wary energy. Because like, look, justice is literally balance, right? Can be like that counterpart kind of energy. The Hierophant, we talked about it being a marriage card, but look, there are two people here getting their mission assignment from this priest pope guy. And I think it's like, maybe that was the reason why I got that kind of initial like uncomfortableness, because this person's like got a little bit of a sadness going on at the moment, or some kind of lonely, I don't know, there's some kind of something. It's not like anger or anything like that. It's just kind of a sadness or longing or some kind of loneliness. And so it's like you're having this moment of freedom and whatnot, and you're kind of running away. You know, it's kind of like, I'm enjoying this freedom and lightness and happiness, and here comes this person that you're kind of like, I feel like you guys are worried of somebody coming in and breaking your peace, you know, because you're going to see, I think you're going to get the wrong idea of this person initially, possibly. Like maybe you're going to be, maybe you guys will see them on an off day and you're going to be like, oop, got to stay away from that person, you know, but it's kind of like, no, you're not going to get to really stay away from them. Something's going to happen. But I feel like you guys are getting that notion because you see them on an off day or when they're kind of feeling down. And so you're like, would have been nice, but no thanks, you know, and you keep like galloping around like, okay, I'm moving on now. And you're in your own world. I mean, it's like you really are in your own kind of little world. You're used to being alone. You're used to being on your own. You're used to this isolation, okay? Because people isolated you. You isolated yourself, and then people also isolated you by getting you up on some pedestal or kind of energetically setting you apart from others. And then you did the same because people were doing that too. And then because you kind of felt like you fell into this role of having to uphold a role and all of this, it's a whole complicated thing. But even here, right, it's like in that moon card, you saw the dog was talking, like the lighter looking dog that didn't look so tense was talking to the lobster or crab or whatever it was, right? Like with the spirit guides. Here in this Fool card, it's like, again, you're going on your own with your spirit guides. You're used to having your own little bubble. No matter how much you want to say like, oh, it'd be nice to have somebody, you're just used to kind of being on your own. Look at these queens, they're on their own, okay? The Empress on her own. It's like you're used to doing things on your own. It's like the idea would be nice, but you've navigated so like this way for so long, and you started finally feeling good about it. So you're kind of like, you're not used to that. And so somebody is here and you kind of see them on this possibly off day, because I don't think that they're normally like that. Okay, let me just pull a card. Yeah, okay. Yeah, look at that. Okay, oh my goodness. And of course, we also flip open to the Emperor. And then we have the Queen of Swords underneath. And if this is considered the feminine energy. So it's like this person is not normally like that, okay? But it's like you guys just so happen to come across each other at this weird time. And it's like you guys are defensive of yourself. So you're cautious and you're wary. And you're like, I don't need drama in my life. Thank you. Goodbye, you know? And they're kind of like having an off day. Like, I feel like this person could have been strong for so long. Wow, this turned into a love reading. Sorry. I just realized I'm still talking about this topic. I guess maybe some of you guys want to hear. If you guys don't want to hear, the majority of your reading is done. I just want to do the dice. But it kind of feels like, yeah, like you guys are just like, I don't know. Yeah, because this person, it feels like they're used to maybe being strong and getting everything handled. They also, on some level, have kind of been isolated by their group, but they were managing to incorporate other people. But there's always some kind of, like, people initially get this divide from them, and I just feel like they're so used to being strong and, like, being the ones to take care of others, and they got to a point when you guys come across each other where they have a little breakdown is not the word I'm looking for, but we'll call it that for lack of a better word. So you guys kind of encounter them in this kind of a sad state. And I don't mean sad like pitiful. I just mean like they're actually maybe a little sad. And then they get to see you guys, this beacon of light, and they're like, whoa. You know, that's why I remember I said most people are going to be infatuated, but you are going to get some people that kind of fall in love. Like this person is not infatuated. They're just going to be like, whoa. A beacon of, it's like they're going to see you and see the word hope, you know? And because you guys have the same kind of, you guys come from a similar kind of place, you know, I guess it's like a soul family type of thing, because you guys both come from the ocean, it feels like. So even though there have been many lives that you guys have not spent together, there's some kind of something there, you know? This little remembrance. But I think because you guys encountered them in this state, and you guys have experienced other like people in the past, that you're just like, okay, I'm not falling for any red flags here. I think you guys are looking at something that's like a situational thing, as if it's the constant, because it's not the constant for this person. It's just you caught them on this off day, and they've been doing things on their own for so long that they're also not used to getting somebody to lean on, because everyone is going on that, like they can handle so much. They're incredibly strong. It's like they've been strong for people for 20 years, 20 plus years, okay? Like I heard 23, like 23 plus years, okay? They've been strong for people since they were young, moving onward, at work, all this stuff. I'm not saying they're 23. I'm just saying like this is the example they're giving me, like it's been that long, you know? So they finally get to a point where they're like, I can keep being strong. It's just like, and again, it's not like their strength is gone. It's just, I think it's like similar to how you guys are feeling that kind of aloneness. Because I know lonely is technically the word, but when I was saying like lonely doesn't feel right, okay? Even though it's, I think it's like technically the same thing, but like vibrationally it doesn't feel right. It's just, you guys felt alone physically. Even here, you're alone physically, okay? Because it's not like you're lonely because you have people around you. It's just you felt kind of alone because you didn't have that. Yeah, something along those lines, like that vibrational match. So I think you guys are not going to get the right impression from the beginning. So there's going to be some kind of like a false start. That being said, don't just go out with people that you're like, oh my gosh, this person irritated me, I should go out. You know, like, obviously be smart, you guys. I'm not saying to go for toxic people or anything like that. Whoever this person is, whenever you guys encounter them, I think they're going to show you that they're not like how you encountered them that first time. Okay, they're going to prove it to you, and you guys are good with your instincts. You guys have a good intuition. You're going to feel it out. Okay, so they're going to show you like, okay, I'm not actually that, like I heard, I'm not actually that guy, you know. But I think I use the term guy loosely because we're talking about a more masculine energy, since you guys are the more feminine energy. And it doesn't have to be a man, it could be a woman too, you know, disclaimers aside. But yeah, so I think that's very interesting. It's like this person is like trying to show you, I'm not that kind of person, okay? Like, you just caught me on a not so great day, and if I could change it, I wish I could. But for whatever reason, it had to go on like that. And I guess on some level, it had to go like that because in their moment of weakness, when they finally kind of feel as though they've got to, like, they're publicly, and again, it's not like they're crying in front of people, but it's like when people can actually see that something is kind of a little off for them, they get this beacon of hope or this like regaining of strength by kind of encountering you. I don't know, something along those lines. All right, well, this wasn't meant to be a love reading, but you know what? Every group so far had a little bit of love, so there's like that summer loving thing going on here. All right, you guys, let me get the final message with the dice. You guys, I'm excited that you guys got little extra cards here. That's cool. I was like, you know what? No group ended up getting extra cards like when I was shuffling. I normally never pull actual, like, take a deck and shuffle extra cards in my reading. So this was kind of a fun experience for me. Okay. Final messages for group 4. We've got Aquarius, the number 9, Mercury, and the number 1. The 1 is giving magician vibes, okay? So that's you guys, master manifestors, creators, all that jazz, okay? The Aquarius, I think, is talking about change. Something is changing in the wind, and to be completely honest, I know there's a change in the wind, something like that, or change in the tides. I know that Aquarius is an air sign, but this is really giving me that, like, because of the image of the symbol, it's like water again. So it's coming back to water. Maybe you guys should go walk by some water too. Like, you can go to a park, walk by a lake, walk by a pond. If it's summer where you guys are, maybe you can go to a beach. Like, I think water, getting back to the water could be good to you to kind of recharge. Okay. With Mercury also, it's kind of like, this is not giving me intellect vibes at all. This is talking about communication, clear communication, like understanding. I don't know. There's some kind of communication going on. So I'm wondering if it's between you and this person. Okay. It's very interesting. It's a little, I don't know. With the 9, it's also giving very much new horizons. So remember how I told you guys, like, you guys are done with the death process. You guys are literally in the rebirth process, because you guys even have the Fool, right? You are in the new chapter of your life already. Because you know, some people are like, you guys are entering a new chapter in your life, but usually when they say that, they mean like you're in the death process and you're going to be entering the new chapter. But it's like, no, you guys are in the new chapter, okay? And you guys, again, look at that magician energy with the Empress, that abundance, master manifestor, creator. It's like you guys want something. If you just affirm it, it comes into your life, you know? It is just coming into your life quickly. And yeah, you may feel uncomfortable still, but that's because of this expansion that you guys are going through, this change, right? With that Aquarius energy. And literally you guys can speak things into existence. Just say it and it's going to happen, okay? So you guys are coming into this incredible journey, and I don't think you guys are going to be alone too much longer, okay? There's going to be some kind of companion coming along for you guys. But first, there's a need for you guys to continue to trust yourself, all right? And to come into, to reclaim this energy, this sacral chakra energy that you guys have given out or had kind of frozen for some time. All right, you guys? All right, I was going to say group 3, group 4. I hope you guys enjoyed your reading. If you did, I would appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. I'm wondering, would you guys let me know in the comments down below if you stuck around for that little additional mini reading with the whole, you know, possible person coming in. Also, did you guys end up cross-watching for somebody? I would love to know from you guys as well. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd also appreciate if you guys supported the channel by subscribing. Again, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. I'm also trying to be more active on Instagram, so if you guys are interested in following along with me there, that's my Instagram handle is NutAeum. It's also going to be in the description box. And if you guys are interested in a personal private reading, a custom crystal bracelet, or a personal affirmation song, you can reach out to me either through the contacts page on my website or through my email. All right, you guys, and that's also in the description box below. All right, group 4, that was your reading. I hope you guys enjoyed. Excited to hear from you guys. I'm sending you guys lots of love, lots of light, and I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, group 4. I'll see you guys next time.